Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there was a charming little shop known as the Enchanted Teacup. This shop was famous far and wide for its exquisite collection of teacups and teapots, each more beautiful than the last. The shop's owner, a kind old woman named Miss Aloan, was known for her magical touch with tea leaves and her ability to make every visitor feel special. One sunny afternoon, a curious young girl named Ella entered the shop. Ella was known for her boundless curiosity and a heart full of dreams. She had heard tales of Miss Aloan's magical teacups and hoped to find something extraordinary. As Ella wandered through the shop, she marveled at the teacups that sparkled with every color of the rainbow and the teapots that seemed to hum softly with their own melodies. Each piece had its own unique charm, but one teacup in particular caught her eye. It was an elegant, deep blue cup adorned with intricate gold patterns that seemed to dance in the light. Miss Aloan noticed Ella's fascination and smiled warmly. "Ah, you found the enchanted teacup," she said. "This teacup is special. It's said to grant one wish to whoever drinks from it with a pure heart." Ella's eyes widened. "One wish? Really?" Miss Aloan nodded. "Yes, but remember, it must be a wish from the heart, and you must drink tea brewed with genuine kindness." Ella thought long and hard about her wish. She wished for something that would not only bring happiness to herself but also to those around her. Finally, she made her decision. She purchased the teacup and promised to return with a story of how it had granted her wish. Back at home, Ella brewed a pot of tea, carefully following the instructions Miss Aloan had given her. She added a sprinkle of kindness and a dash of love to the pot. As she poured the tea into the enchanted teacup, she closed her eyes and made her wish. "I wish for a way to bring happiness to my village," she whispered. The tea in the enchanted teacup shimmered with a soft, golden light, and a sweet, calming aroma filled the room. Ella drank the tea with a sense of anticipation, hoping her wish would come true. The next morning, Ella awoke to find something magical had happened. As she stepped outside, she noticed that the entire village was alive with vibrant colors and joyful sounds. The flowers in the gardens had bloomed into dazzling arrays of colors, and the air was filled with the sweet music of birds singing harmonies. Ella discovered that the villagers had been inspired by the magic of the enchanted teacup. Each person had been touched by a sense of joy and creativity, and they had worked together to beautify the village and spread happiness. The children painted murals on the walls, the artisans crafted delightful decorations, and the bakers made delicious treats for everyone to enjoy. Ella felt a warm glow of happiness as she walked through the village. She realized that the true magic of the enchanted teacup was not just in granting a wish, but in inspiring people to come together and create something wonderful. As the days went by, the village continued to thrive with its newfound joy. Miss Aloan visited the village to see the transformation and was delighted by what she saw. She thanked Ella for showing the true power of the enchanted teacup. Ella's wish had not only brought happiness to her village but had also taught her an important lesson, that the magic of kindness and unity was the most powerful magic of all. The enchanted teacup was returned to Miss Aloan's shop, ready to grant another wish when the time was right. And so, the village remained a place of beauty and joy, where every heart was touched by the magic of a single wish made with love and kindness. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the mountains brushed against the sky and the forests whispered ancient secrets, there was a hidden glade known only to a few. This glade housed a pond of extraordinary beauty, shimmering under the moonlight like liquid silver. It was said that the pond had magical properties and could grant a single wish to anyone pure of heart who visited it under the full moon. In the nearby village of Meadowbrook lived a young girl named Mira. Mira was known for her kindness and bravery, qualities that shone through in everything she did. She lived with her grandmother, who had raised her with tales of the moonlit pond. As the full moon approached, Mira decided to seek out the pond and make a wish, to bring happiness to her village, which had fallen on hard times due to a long drought. One night, under the glow of the full moon, Mira set out on her quest. She followed a winding path through the forest, guided by the light of the moon and the twinkling stars. After hours of walking, she finally arrived at the moonlit pond. Its waters gleamed like a mirror, reflecting the silvery light of the moon. Mira took a deep breath and knelt by the edge of the pond. She closed her eyes and made her wish. I wish for rain to fall on Meadowbrook, so that our fields may be green and our village may prosper. As soon as she spoke, the waters of the pond began to shimmer more brightly, and a soft voice spoke from within the ripples. Your wish is noble, and your heart is pure. But to grant this wish, you must prove your courage. Mira opened her eyes to see a gentle figure rising from the pond, a guardian spirit with shimmering wings and a gown of moonlight. The guardian's eyes sparkled like stars, and her voice was as soothing as a lullaby. Prove your courage? Mira asked, her heart racing with both excitement and fear. Yes, the guardian replied. Beyond this pond lies a dark forest. Within it is a crystal that holds the power to summon the rain. You must retrieve this crystal and bring it back to the pond. Mira nodded, determined to help her village. She took a lantern and ventured into the dark forest, where shadows danced and eerie noises filled the air. The forest seemed to close in around her, but Mira pressed on, guided by the faint glow of her lantern. After what felt like hours, Mira found herself at the heart of the forest, where a towering tree stood. Its branches twisted into strange shapes, and at its base was a small, hidden door. She pushed the door open and stepped into a cavernous space filled with the soft, golden light of the crystal. The crystal was perched on a pedestal in the center of the cavern, glowing with a warmth that made Mira's heart swell with hope. But just as she reached for it, a dark figure emerged from the shadows, a creature with glowing red eyes and sharp claws. It was a forest guardian, tasked with protecting the crystal. Mira took a deep breath, her bravery overcoming her fear. She spoke softly but firmly, I come not to take, but to return with what I need to save my village. The forest guardian hesitated, and Mira continued, my village is in desperate need of rain. I asked not for myself but for them. The guardian's eyes softened as it listened. With a low growl, it stepped aside, allowing Mira to take the crystal. She thanked the guardian and hurried back to the moonlit pond. As she returned to the pond, the guardian spirit appeared again, her face radiant with approval. Mira placed the crystal on the surface of the water. Instantly, the pond began to bubble, and a gentle rain began to fall, spreading across the sky and soaking the dry earth of Meadowbrook. Mira returned home to find her village transformed. The fields were green, the wells were full, and the people were joyous. Mira's heart swelled with pride and happiness. She knew her village would thrive once more, and it was all thanks to the magic of the moonlit pond and her own bravery. And so, under the soft glow of the moon, Mira's wish had come true. The village of Meadowbrook flourished, and Mira became a legend. Known for her courage and kindness. The moonlit pond continued to shimmer under the night sky, a beacon of hope and magic for all who believed in its wonders. Once upon a time, in the magical land of Alicia, there was a small village named Bramblebrook. This village was surrounded by dense forests, crystal-clear lakes, and meadows filled with wildflowers. The people of Bramblebrook lived simple, happy lives, but they had a secret longing. They wished to see the legendary silver unicorn, a mystical creature believed to bring good fortune and eternal peace. In Bramblebrook lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was kind-hearted and adventurous, with a curiosity that knew no bounds. Her grandmother, Esme, would often tell her tales of the silver unicorn and its magical powers. Elara dreamed of one day seeing the unicorn and bringing its blessings to her village. One fateful spring, a terrible drought struck Bramblebrook. The rivers dried up, crops withered, and the villagers grew desperate. Elara, seeing the suffering of her friends and family, decided it was time to find the silver unicorn. With a heart full of hope and determination, she set off into the unknown. Elara's journey led her into the heart of the enchanted forest, a place teeming with magic and mystery. As she walked through the forest, she encountered a wise old owl named Orion, perched on a low branch. Orion had seen many travelers come and go, but none with such pure intentions as Elara. "Why do you venture into the enchanted forest, young one?" Orion asked, his voice deep and resonant. I seek the silver unicorn, Elara replied. Our village is suffering from a terrible drought, and I hope to bring back its blessings. Orion nodded thoughtfully. The path to the silver unicorn is perilous and full of challenges. You must possess courage, wisdom, and kindness to succeed. Take this feather, he said, plucking one of his own and handing it to her. It will light your way in the darkest times. Elara thanked Orion and continued her journey, the feather glowing softly in her hand. As she ventured deeper into the forest, she came across a shimmering pond. At the edge of the pond stood a beautiful deer with eyes as blue as sapphires. Greetings, traveler, the deer said. I am Luna, the guardian of this pond. Why do you seek the silver unicorn? Elara explained her quest, and Luna listened intently. The silver unicorn resides in the Valley of Echoes, beyond the misty mountains, Luna said. But to reach it, you must first solve a riddle. If you succeed, I will guide you to the mountains. Elara agreed, and Luna recited the riddle. I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, and I can drown. What am I? Elara thought for a moment, then smiled. You are fire, she answered confidently. Luna nodded in approval. You are correct, Elara. Follow me, and I will lead you to the misty mountains. Luna led Elara through the forest, and they soon reached the base of the misty mountains. The peaks were hidden in swirling mists, and the air was chilly. Elara began her climb, using the owl's feather to light her path. The journey was arduous, and she faced many obstacles, but her determination never wavered. At last, Elara reached the Valley of Echoes, a serene place where every sound seemed to linger and repeat. In the center of the valley stood the silver unicorn, its coat glistening like moonlight and its eyes filled with ancient wisdom. The unicorn stepped forward, its hooves barely making a sound on the soft grass. Why have you come, young Elara? The unicorn asked, its voice as gentle as a breeze. I seek your help, noble unicorn, Elara said, bowing respectfully. My village is suffering from a drought, and I hope to bring back your blessings to save my people. The silver unicorn looked at her with kind eyes. You have shown great courage and a pure heart. I will grant your wish, but first, you must complete one final task. You must find the heartstone hidden within this valley. It is a symbol of love and hope, and only those with true intentions can find it. Elara set off through the valley, her eyes scanning every nook and cranny. She walked for hours, but the heartstone eluded her. Exhausted, she sat down and began to sing a lullaby her grandmother used to sing to her. As she sang, a soft glow appeared beneath a nearby tree. Elara approached and found the heartstone, glowing with a gentle light. She returned to the silver unicorn and presented the heartstone. You have succeeded, Elara, the unicorn said. Your pure heart and determination have proven your worth. I will grant your village the rain it needs. The unicorn raised its head and let out a melodious call. The skies darkened, and rain began to fall gently, soaking the earth. Elara felt a sense of relief and joy wash over her. Thank you, noble unicorn, she said, tears of gratitude in her eyes. Remember, Elara, the silver unicorn said, true magic lies within the heart. Your love and courage have brought this blessing upon your village. Elara returned to Bramblebrook, where the rain had already begun to revive the land. The villagers rejoiced, and her parents embraced her, proud of their brave daughter. The story of Elara's journey spread far and wide, inspiring others to believe in the power of love, courage, and selflessness. And so, the village of Bramblebrook thrived once more, forever grateful to the girl who brought the blessings of the silver unicorn to their lives. The end. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a village named Luminera. This village was unique because every night, its sky was lit up by the most spectacular display of stars. The villagers believed that their fortunes and well-being were tied to the brightness of these stars. Among the villagers lived a young girl named Lyra, who was known for her adventurous spirit and her deep connection to the night sky. Lyra lived with her grandmother, a wise woman who often told tales of magical creatures and ancient legends. One evening, as they sat by the fireplace, her grandmother shared the most intriguing tale of all, the legend of the starlight flower. Long ago, her grandmother began, the heavens blessed our village with the starlight flower, a magical bloom that shines brighter than the stars themselves. It is said that the flower has the power to grant a single wish to whoever finds it. But beware, for the path to the flower is fraught with challenges that test the heart and spirit. Lyra's eyes sparkled with curiosity. Has anyone ever found the starlight flower, Grandma? Many have tried, my dear, her grandmother replied, but none have returned. It is said that only the purest of heart can succeed. That night, as Lyra gazed at the starlit sky from her bedroom window, she felt a calling. She decided that she would find the starlight flower and use its magic to bring prosperity and joy to her village. At dawn, Lyra packed a small bag with essentials, some food, a flask of water, and her grandmother's compass. She set off on her journey, her heart filled with determination and hope. As she ventured into the dense forest surrounding Luminera, she encountered her first challenge, a wide, raging river. The current was too strong to swim across, and there was no bridge in sight. While pondering her options, Lyra noticed a family of beavers working tirelessly to build a dam. Inspired by their teamwork, she offered to help. With her assistance, the beavers quickly completed the dam, creating a safe passage across the river. "Thank you, kind girl," said the beaver leader. "You have shown us great kindness. May your journey be blessed." Lyra continued her journey with a newfound sense of camaraderie. As she delved deeper into the forest, she came upon a dark and twisted part of the woods, where eerie shadows danced and whispered. This was the Forest of Illusions, a place that preyed on one's fears and doubts. Lyra felt her heart race, but she remembered her grandmother's tales of courage. She took a deep breath, steadied her mind, and pressed on. Suddenly, a monstrous creature emerged from the shadows, blocking her path. It was a shadow beast, a fearsome being with glowing red eyes. "Turn back, or face your doom," it growled. Lyra stood her ground. "I am not afraid of you," she declared. "I seek the starlight flower to bring hope to my village. You cannot stop me." The beast lunged at her, but Lyra remembered the beavers and their teamwork. She quickly devised a plan, using the shadows to her advantage. She led the beast into a trap, where it became entangled in the thick vines and roots of the forest. The beast struggled but eventually vanished, defeated by its own darkness. Exhausted but undeterred, Lyra continued her journey. As the forest began to thin, she found herself at the foot of a towering mountain. At its peak, she knew, lay the starlight flower. The climb was steep and treacherous, but Lyra's resolve never wavered. Hours turned into days as she ascended the mountain. Her hands were blistered, and her legs ached, but the thought of her village kept her going. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, she reached the summit. There, bathed in the soft glow of moonlight, was the starlight flower. It was more beautiful than she had ever imagined, its petals shimmering with a celestial light. With trembling hands, Lyra approached the flower. "I wish for my village to be prosperous and joyful," she whispered. As she touched the flower, a warm, radiant light enveloped her, filling her with a sense of peace and fulfillment. The flower's magic flowed through her, and she knew her wish had been granted. Lyra descended the mountain, her heart light and her spirit soaring. When she returned to Luminera, she found the village transformed. The fields were lush and bountiful, the river flowed clear and strong, and the villagers were filled with joy and hope. They welcomed her back as a hero, and Lyra shared her tale of courage, kindness, and the power of a pure heart. From that day on, Luminera prospered under the bright starlit skies, and the legend of Lyra and the starlight flower was passed down through generations, a testament to the power of determination, bravery, and love. And so, the tale of the brave little girl who found the starlight flower and brought light to her village lived on, reminding all who heard it that even in the darkest times, a pure heart can shine the brightest. The end. Once upon a time, in a small village called Meadowbrook, there lived a young girl named Zara. Zara was known for her adventurous spirit and her love for animals. Every day, she would explore the fields and forests surrounding her village, always in search of something new and exciting. One sunny morning, as Zara wandered through the forest, she came across a peculiar sight. A beautiful golden feather lay on the ground, shimmering in the sunlight. She picked it up and marveled at its beauty. Suddenly, a soft voice spoke to her. "Hello, Zara," the voice said. Zara looked around but saw no one. "Down here," the voice continued. She looked down and saw a small, talking squirrel. "Did you just speak to me?" Zara asked, astonished. "Yes," replied the squirrel. "I am Nutmeg, the guardian of the forest. That feather you hold is from the great phoenix, a magical bird that brings life and prosperity to our land. But the phoenix has been captured by the wicked sorcerer, Malakar, and now the forest is in danger." Zara's heart filled with determination. "What can I do to help?" Nutmeg explained, "To free the phoenix, you must journey to Malakar's castle and retrieve 3 enchanted items: the silver key, the crystal orb, and the ruby heart. Only then can you break the spell and set the phoenix free." Without hesitation, Zara agreed to the quest. Nutmeg handed her a small, glowing compass. "This will guide you to the enchanted items," he said. "Be careful, and trust in your bravery and kindness." Zara set off on her journey, following the compass's light. Her first destination was the Caves of Mystery, where the silver key was hidden. The caves were dark and filled with echoes, but Zara pressed on, her heart steady. She encountered bats and tricky paths but remained undeterred. Finally, she found the silver key resting on a pedestal, guarded by a large stone golem. Using her wits, Zara solved the riddle inscribed on the pedestal, and the golem allowed her to take the key. Next, the compass led her to the Lake of Dreams, where the crystal orb was kept. The lake was serene, its waters sparkling under the moonlight. Zara spotted the orb at the lake center, floating on a lily pad. As she reached for it, a water spirit emerged, testing her purity of heart. Zara spoke kindly to the spirit, sharing stories of her love for the forest and its creatures. Moved by her sincerity, the spirit gifted her the crystal orb. Finally, the compass guided Zara to the Garden of Thorns, where the ruby heart was hidden. The garden was filled with thorny bushes and venomous plants, but Zara carefully navigated through. At the garden's heart, she found a giant rosebush with a single, glowing red rose, the ruby heart. As she reached for it, the rosebush came to life, its thorns ready to strike. Zara sang a lullaby her mother used to sing, soothing the bush and allowing her to take the ruby heart. With all 3 items in hand, Zara made her way to Malakar's castle. The dark fortress loomed before her, but she entered with resolve. Inside, she found Malakar, who laughed at her bravery. "You think you can defeat me, little girl?" he sneered. Zara stood tall. "I have come to free the phoenix and restore the forest." Using the silver key, she unlocked the enchanted cage holding the phoenix. Then, she used the crystal orb to reveal the spell binding the phoenix, and finally, she placed the ruby heart on the phoenix's chest, breaking the spell. The great phoenix burst forth in a blaze of golden light, its majestic wings spreading wide. Malakar, blinded by the light, fled the castle, never to be seen again. The phoenix turned to Zara, its eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you, brave Zara," the phoenix said. "You have saved me and the forest. As a token of my gratitude, I grant you a wish." Zara thought for a moment and then said, "I wish for the forest to always be safe and for the villagers to live in peace and harmony." The phoenix nodded and granted her wish. The forest flourished, and Meadowbrook prospered. Zara returned to her village a hero, and the villagers celebrated her bravery and kindness. From that day on, the great phoenix watched over the forest, and Zara's tale was told for generations. Her courage, wisdom, and kindness became a guiding light for all who heard it. And so, Zara lived a long and happy life, always exploring and protecting the forest she loved so dearly, knowing that true magic lies in the heart of those who dare to care. Once upon a time, in a land where the mountains kissed the sky and the rivers sang with joy, there was a charming village named Brookhaven. Brookhaven was renowned for its lush landscapes and the enchanted garden that lay at its edge. This garden was special, blooming only under the light of the full moon. It was said that the garden held a powerful secret that could grant one wish to anyone with a pure heart. In Brookhaven lived a gentle and imaginative girl named Isla. Isla had always been fascinated by the midnight garden and its mysteries. Every month, on the night of the full moon, she would sneak out to the edge of the village to catch a glimpse of the garden's magical glow. One crisp autumn night, the full moon shone brighter than ever before, casting an otherworldly light over Brookhaven. Isla, unable to resist the allure of the garden, decided to venture inside. Armed with a lantern and her courage, she stepped through the ornate gate covered in vines that led into the garden. As Isla walked along the moonlit path, she marveled at the garden's beauty. The flowers glowed softly, and the trees seemed to whisper secrets of old. The air was filled with the fragrance of night-blooming jasmine and the gentle hum of fireflies. Just as she reached the center of the garden, a gentle voice spoke from the shadows. "Welcome, dear visitor," said the voice. It belonged to a graceful fairy with wings like spun silver. "I am Seraphina, the guardian of the Midnight Garden. What brings you here tonight?" Isla, though a bit startled, found her voice. "I've always heard of the garden's magical secret and came to see it for myself. I wish to understand its true power." Seraphina's eyes sparkled with a knowing light. "The Midnight Garden can grant a single wish to those with a pure heart. But first, you must prove your worthiness by overcoming 3 trials that test your courage, wisdom, and kindness." The first trial appeared as a maze of thorns and brambles. Isla, determined to continue, navigated the maze with patience and careful steps. The thorns seemed to move and shift, but Isla remembered a lesson her grandmother had taught her about remaining calm in difficult situations. She followed the gentle glow of the moonlight and emerged from the maze. The second trial was a riddle posed by a wise old tortoise resting by a crystal-clear pond. "To move forward, you must answer this," the tortoise said. "I am taken from a mine, and shut up in a wooden case, from which I am never released, and yet I am used by almost every person. What am I?" Isla thought deeply, remembering her grandfather's stories about clever solutions. "A pencil," she finally answered. The tortoise nodded, and the pond's waters sparkled with approval, revealing a path to the next trial. The final trial was one of kindness. Isla encountered a small, injured bird with a broken wing lying beneath a tree. Its eyes were filled with distress. Without hesitation, Isla gently picked up the bird and used a bit of cloth from her lantern to create a makeshift bandage. She sang softly to comfort it, and the bird's fear slowly melted away. As Isla finished tending to the bird, it fluttered its wings gratefully and flew up to a branch, revealing a hidden door in the tree trunk. The door creaked open, leading to a chamber filled with shimmering light. In the center of the chamber stood a pedestal with a beautifully glowing gem, the heart of the Midnight Garden. Seraphina appeared beside Isla, her expression filled with admiration. "You have passed all 3 trials with grace and sincerity. The heart of the Midnight Garden is now yours to make a wish." Isla gazed at the gem and thought of her village, which had faced a long drought and struggled to grow crops. She wished with all her heart for the garden's magic to help restore their land and bring prosperity to her people. The heart of the Midnight Garden glowed brightly, and its magic spread across the land, bringing rain to the parched fields and revitalizing the crops. Brookhaven flourished, and the villagers rejoiced at the newfound abundance. When Isla returned to the garden to thank Seraphina, she found that the fairy had left a single glowing flower as a token of gratitude. The Midnight Garden's magic continued to protect and nourish Brookhaven, and Isla's story became a cherished legend, a testament to the power of courage, wisdom, and kindness. And so, the village of Brookhaven thrived under the watchful glow of the Midnight Garden, living happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a lush, green valley, there lay a magical forest known as Elderglen. This forest was home to a myriad of creatures, from the tiniest insects to the largest of beasts. But the heart of Elderglen was its most enchanting feature, the Whispering Willow. This ancient tree stood tall and proud, its leaves constantly rustling as if sharing secrets with the wind. It was said that anyone who could understand the whispers of the willow would be granted a single, powerful wish. In a cozy burrow at the edge of the forest lived a tiny, brave mouse named Thistle. Thistle was known for his courage and his inquisitive nature, always seeking out new adventures and helping his friends. One evening, as Thistle sat with his family, he heard the faintest whisper from the direction of the willow. Intrigued, Thistle decided to investigate. He scampered through the forest, his tiny paws making barely a sound on the forest floor. As he approached the Whispering Willow, the whispers grew louder and clearer, almost as if the tree was calling to him. "Brave little Thistle," the willow whispered, its voice soft and gentle. "A great darkness threatens Elderglen. You must find the Crystal of Dawn, hidden deep within the Forbidden Cave, to save our home." Thistle's heart raced with both fear and excitement. The Forbidden Cave was a place of mystery and danger, but he knew he had to protect his beloved forest. Gathering his courage, he nodded to the willow. "I will find the crystal and save Elderglen." The next morning, Thistle set off on his journey. His friends, aware of the danger but also of his bravery, offered their help. A wise old owl named Orion gave Thistle a feather that glowed in the dark, a gift to light his way in the cave. A swift and clever squirrel named Nutmeg provided him with a map of the forest, detailing the safest paths to the cave. And a gentle deer named Fauna gave him a small pouch of healing herbs, just in case. Thistle thanked his friends and, with the map in hand and the glowing feather tucked behind his ear, he began his trek toward the Forbidden Cave. The journey was long and filled with challenges. He crossed a raging river by jumping from stone to stone, narrowly avoiding the swift current. He navigated through a dense, thorny thicket, using Nutmeg's map to find the least treacherous path. After several days, Thistle finally reached the entrance of the Forbidden Cave. It was dark and foreboding, with eerie sounds echoing from within. Taking a deep breath, he stepped inside, the light from Orion's feather casting a soft glow around him. The cave was a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers, each more confusing than the last. As he ventured deeper, he encountered various creatures that called the cave home. There were glowing insects that lit his way, but also giant spiders that blocked his path with their webs. Thistle carefully navigated around them, using his small size and quick reflexes to stay out of harm's way. At the heart of the cave, Thistle discovered a grand chamber with walls that sparkled like diamonds. In the center of the chamber, resting on a pedestal of crystal, was the Crystal of Dawn. Its light was warm and inviting, and Thistle could feel its powerful magic even from a distance. As he approached the crystal, a deep growl echoed through the chamber. From the shadows emerged a massive, fearsome dragon with scales as dark as night and eyes that glowed with fiery intensity. "Who dares to enter my domain?" the dragon roared. Thistle, though terrified, stood his ground. "I am Thistle of Elderglen, and I seek the Crystal of Dawn to save my home from darkness." The dragon studied the tiny mouse with interest. "Many have come seeking the crystal, but none have succeeded. What makes you think you are worthy?" Thistle took a deep breath. "I may be small, but my heart is full of courage. I seek the crystal not for myself, but for the sake of my friends and my home. Please, grant me this chance." The dragon considered his words, then nodded slowly. "Very well, little one. You have shown bravery just by coming here. You may take the crystal." With gratitude and relief, Thistle approached the pedestal and gently lifted the Crystal of Dawn. Its magic flowed through him, filling him with strength and hope. The dragon watched silently as Thistle made his way out of the cave, the crystal lighting his path. Returning to Elderglen, Thistle was greeted with cheers and applause from the creatures of the forest. He placed the crystal at the base of the Whispering Willow, and its light spread throughout the forest, dispelling the darkness that had threatened their home. The trees grew greener, the flowers bloomed brighter, and the rivers flowed with renewed vigor. The Whispering Willow spoke once more, its voice filled with warmth and pride. "Thank you, brave Thistle. You have saved Elderglen and proven that even the smallest among us can achieve great things. From that day forward, Thistle was celebrated as a hero. The creatures of Elderglen lived in peace and harmony, forever grateful to the brave little mouse who had risked everything to save their home. And the Whispering Willow continued to share its secrets, knowing that the heart of Elderglen was safe in the hands of those who truly cared. And so, under the watchful eyes of the ancient trees and the gentle glow of the Whispering Willow, the forest of Elderglen thrived, living happily ever after. And they all lived happily ever after.
Once upon a time, in a charming little village nestled between rolling hills, there was a legend about a magical bridge that appeared only under the light of the full moon. This bridge, said to be made of shimmering stardust, could take those who crossed it to a land of wonders. In this village lived a curious girl named Lily. Lily had always been enchanted by stories of far-off lands and hidden treasures. Every month, she would gaze at the full moon, hoping to catch a glimpse of the legendary bridge. One clear night, when the full moon bathed the village in a silvery glow, Lily noticed something extraordinary. A faint, sparkling bridge appeared over the river near her home. Her heart raced with excitement. Gathering her courage, she decided to cross the bridge and see where it led. As Lily stepped onto the bridge, she felt a gentle, cool breeze and saw the stars twinkling around her like diamonds. The bridge seemed to stretch endlessly into the sky. She walked with a sense of wonder until she reached the other side. There, Lily found herself in a magical land where the trees were made of crystal and the flowers sang soft lullabies. The sky was a canvas of swirling colors, and in the distance, a magnificent castle sparkled like 1,000 stars. Lily ventured towards the castle, her eyes wide with amazement. As she approached, a friendly unicorn with a shimmering mane greeted her. "Welcome to the land of Stardust." The unicorn said in a warm, musical voice, "I am Celestia. I've been waiting for someone like you to arrive." Lily was thrilled. "Thank you. I've always dreamed of exploring a magical land. How can I help or learn more about this place?" Celestia's eyes twinkled. "Our land is in need of your help. The heart of Stardust, a magical gem that keeps our world vibrant and alive, has been stolen by a mischievous sorcerer. Without it, our land is losing its magic. We need someone brave to retrieve it." Determined to help, Lily agreed. Celestia handed her a glowing map and a small silver key. "Follow this map to the Sorcerer's Tower. The key will unlock the door to the chamber where the heart of Stardust is kept." Lily thanked Celestia and set off, guided by the glowing map. She traveled through enchanted forests, crossed sparkling rivers, and climbed hills that seemed to touch the sky. Along the way, she encountered various magical creatures who offered her guidance and encouragement. Finally, Lily reached the Sorcerer's Tower, a dark and foreboding structure surrounded by swirling fog. With the silver key in hand, she unlocked the heavy door and stepped inside. The chamber was dimly lit, and there, atop a pedestal, was the heart of Stardust, glowing softly. But before Lily could reach it, the mischievous sorcerer appeared. He had a sly grin and waved his wand. "So, you come to take back the heart of Stardust, have you? But you'll need to outwit me first." The sorcerer conjured a series of magical challenges, each more difficult than the last. There were riddles to solve, illusions to see through, and obstacles to overcome. Lily faced each challenge with courage and cleverness, using the skills she had learned from the magical creatures she met along her journey. Finally, after a series of trials, Lily stood before the heart of Stardust. She looked at the sorcerer and said, "The magic you've taken was never meant to be yours. It belongs to the land of Stardust, and it's time to return it." Moved by Lily's bravery and the strength of her spirit, the sorcerer's heart softened. He sighed and said, "You have shown great courage and kindness. I'll return the heart of Stardust, but promise me you will use your adventures to spread goodwill and understanding." Lily agreed, and the sorcerer gently placed the heart of Stardust back on its pedestal. The chamber filled with a warm, golden light, and the magical land began to shimmer and glow once more. With the heart of Stardust restored, the land was vibrant and alive again. Celestia and the magical creatures celebrated Lily's bravery with a grand feast. The stars twinkled brightly, and the sky danced with colors. As a token of their gratitude, Celestia gave Lily a small star-shaped charm. This charm will allow you to visit our land whenever you wish. Remember, the magic of friendship and bravery can light up even the darkest of places. Lily returned to her village, her heart full of joy and wonder. She often shared her adventures with the villagers, inspiring them with tales of bravery and magic. And every full moon, she would gaze at the starry sky, knowing that she could always return to the land of stardust whenever she wished.
Once upon a time, in a land where the moonlight shimmered on every leaf and the stars sang lullabies to the night, there was a hidden orchard known as the Moonlit Orchard. This orchard was famous for its magical fruit, which could grant a single wish to anyone who found it under the light of a full moon. In a small village near the orchard lived a boy named Elric. Elric was a dreamer with a heart full of wonder. His greatest wish was to bring joy and prosperity to his village, which had fallen on hard times. The villagers had heard whispers of the Moonlit Orchard and its magical fruit, but no one had ever managed to find it. One night, as the full moon began to rise, Elric decided to embark on a quest to find the orchard and make his wish. He packed a small bag with a few essentials and set off under the silvery light of the moon. The journey to the Moonlit Orchard was filled with enchantments. Elric walked through fields of glowing flowers and past streams that sparkled like liquid stardust. The path seemed to shimmer and change with each step, as if the moon itself was guiding him. As Elric ventured deeper into the forest, he encountered a wise old owl perched on a branch. The owl's eyes glowed with the light of the moon. "Where do you go, young traveler?" the owl asked in a voice that sounded like rustling leaves. "I seek the Moonlit Orchard," Elric replied. "I wish to bring prosperity to my village." The owl studied him for a moment before nodding. "To find the orchard, you must pass 3 trials, each testing your heart and courage." Elric nodded, determined to succeed. The owl pointed him towards the first trial. The first trial was a bridge made of moonlight that spanned a chasm filled with mist. As Elric stepped onto the bridge, it began to sway and shimmer. He took a deep breath and carefully made his way across, focusing on the light of the moon to guide his steps. Just as he reached the other side, the bridge vanished behind him. The second trial was a meadow filled with luminescent flowers that whispered secrets to the wind. Elric needed to find a single golden flower hidden among them. As he carefully examined each flower, he heard their soft whispers, but he didn't let them distract him. Finally, he spotted the golden flower nestled in the tall grass and picked it gently. The final trial was the most challenging. Elric arrived at a glade where a majestic, ancient tree stood, its branches glowing with moonlight. The tree spoke in a deep, resonant voice. "To pass this trial, you must give up something precious to you." Elric thought about his family, his friends, and his dreams. He realized that what mattered most to him was the happiness of his village. With a heavy heart, he removed a small locket from around his neck, a gift from his grandmother. He placed it at the base of the tree as a symbol of his sacrifice. The tree's branches swayed, and a gentle breeze whispered through the leaves. "Your heart is pure, and your sacrifice is great. You have passed the trials. The Moonlit Orchard is now yours to find." Following the guidance of the moonlight, Elric soon reached the Moonlit Orchard. The trees were laden with fruit that glowed softly in the moonlight. He picked a single fruit and held it close, feeling its warmth and magic. As he closed his eyes and made his wish for his village, a gentle breeze carried his words through the night. The orchard's magic took flight, spreading joy and prosperity across the land. The village awoke to find their fields lush and their homes filled with happiness. Elric returned to his village as a hero, but he never forgot the lessons of the Moonlit Orchard. He continued to help others, always guided by the pure heart and courage that had brought him to the magical orchard in the first place. And so, the village thrived, and the Moonlit Orchard remained a beacon of hope and magic in the moonlit nights, reminding all who sought its wonders that true magic comes from the heart. The end. Once upon a time, in a secluded valley hidden by misty mountains, there was a small village called Eldergrove. Eldergrove was known for its lush gardens and vibrant flowers, but the most remarkable of all was the starflower. This rare and magical flower bloomed only once every 100 years, under the light of the midnight sun. The starflower was said to possess incredible powers. Its petals sparkled like the night sky, and it was believed that a wish made while touching the starflower would come true. The villagers eagerly awaited its blooming, but for the past century, the flower had not appeared. Legend had it that the flower's magic had faded because a greedy sorcerer had stolen a part of its power long ago. A courageous girl named Lyra lived in Eldergrove. Lyra had always been fascinated by the starflower and its legend. Unlike the other villagers, who had become resigned to its absence, Lyra believed that if anyone could restore the flower's magic, it was her. She had heard stories about an enchanted forest where the sorcerer had hidden the starflower's lost power. On the eve of the 100th year, Lyra decided to embark on a quest to find and restore the flower's magic. With her trusty satchel and a heart full of determination, she set out towards the enchanted forest, which was known to be filled with mysterious creatures and magical obstacles. As Lyra entered the forest, she was greeted by the soft glow of bioluminescent plants and the whispering of ancient trees. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, but the forest was eerily quiet. Lyra followed a path marked by twinkling fireflies, her path lit by the moon's gentle glow. Along the way, she encountered a talking fox named Orion. Orion was wise and had heard tales of the sorcerer's hidden lair. To find the sorcerer's lair, you must solve 3 riddles, Orion advised. Only then will you be able to retrieve the starflower's lost power. Lyra agreed and followed Orion to a clearing where an ancient stone altar stood. 3 shimmering orbs hovered above the altar, each representing a riddle. The first orb floated closer and the riddle echoed through the clearing. I have cities but no houses, forests but no trees, and rivers but no water. What am I? Lyra thought carefully and answered, a map. The orb glowed warmly and floated back. The second orb came forward, and its riddle was, the more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? Lyra smiled and replied, footsteps. The orb shone brighter and returned to its place. The third and final orb presented its riddle, I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I? After a moment's thought, Lyra answered, an echo. The orb glowed with a brilliant light and revealed a hidden passage. Orion guided Lyra through the passage, which led to a hidden cave adorned with glittering crystals. At the end of the cave, they found a grand chamber with a pedestal in the center. Resting on the pedestal was a small, ornate box, and inside the box was a vial containing a swirling, radiant essence, the lost power of the starflower. Just as Lyra was about to take the vial, a shadowy figure appeared. It was the sorcerer, whose eyes gleamed with dark magic. You cannot take what belongs to me, the sorcerer declared. Lyra, though frightened, stood firm. The starflower's magic must be restored. It's not yours to keep.
Not medicine.
The sorcerer laughed, the magic belongs to whoever possesses it. But if you are so determined, prove your worth. With that, the sorcerer conjured a storm of illusions and obstacles. Lyra faced illusions of her greatest fears and challenges that tested her resolve. She relied on her courage and the kindness she had shown to others to overcome each challenge. Eventually, Lyra reached the sorcerer and, with a brave heart, offered the vial. This is not for me, she said. It is for the starflower and for everyone who believes in its magic. The sorcerer was taken aback by Lyra's selflessness. The dark magic dissipated, and the sorcerer's heart softened. Perhaps I was wrong, he admitted. Perhaps there is more to magic than possession. Lyra returned to Eldergrove with the vial. As the midnight sun rose, she poured the essence over the starflower. The flower's petals bloomed with an ethereal light, and its magic was restored. The village was filled with a radiant glow, and the starflower's wish-granting power was more potent than ever. The villagers celebrated with joy and gratitude, and Lyra was hailed as a hero. The Starflower's magic brought prosperity and happiness to Eldergrove, and the legend of Lyra's bravery became a cherished story told for generations. And so, the Valley of Eldergrove thrived under the light of the Starflower, a beacon of hope and wonder for all who believed in the magic of selflessness and courage. Once upon a time, in a quaint village called Willowbrook, there was a hidden valley known for its magical flowers. These flowers, called Lumina Blooms, glowed with a soft light and were said to grant a single wish to anyone who found them. The valley was protected by an ancient guardian, a gentle giant named Bramble, who watched over the flowers with great care. In Willowbrook lived a young girl named Mira, who had a heart full of wonder and dreams. Mira had always been fascinated by the stories of the Lumina Blooms and often daydreamed about discovering them. Her best friend was a sprightly squirrel named Nutmeg, who loved to explore and had a keen sense of adventure. One morning, Mira and Nutmeg set out on a quest to find the Lumina Blooms. They packed a small basket with provisions and followed the winding path that led to the hidden valley. The path was lined with vibrant wildflowers and ancient oak trees, each whispering tales of old. As they approached the entrance to the valley, they encountered a large, ornate gate covered in ivy. The gate was guarded by a stone statue of Bramble, the giant. Beside the gate was an inscription that read, "To enter the valley and find the Lumina Blooms, you must pass 3 trials of heart and courage. Only those with true intentions may proceed." Mira and Nutmeg exchanged determined looks and stepped through the gate, entering the magical valley. The first trial awaited them, the trial of kindness. They found themselves in a meadow filled with magical creatures in distress. A family of fireflies had lost their way, and a nest of baby birds needed help. Mira and Nutmeg worked together to guide the fireflies back to their home and to care for the baby birds. Mira gently placed the birds back in their nest, and Nutmeg used his nimble paws to gather food for them. The creatures thanked them warmly, and the meadow seemed to sparkle with gratitude. Having successfully completed the first trial, they were guided further into the valley by a soft, golden light. The second trial was the trial of wisdom. They arrived at a serene pond surrounded by floating lily pads. In the center of the pond was a riddle-inscribed stone. "Speak the truth to find your way, what is the key to endless day?" Mira pondered the riddle, thinking about the stories she had heard. "The key to endless day is the sun," she finally answered. As soon as she spoke, the stone glowed warmly, and a pathway of glowing lily pads appeared, leading them to the next part of the valley. Their final challenge was the trial of bravery. They reached a clearing where a fierce storm was raging. The wind howled and lightning crackled. In the center of the storm stood a large, ancient tree that appeared to be in trouble. Bramble, the guardian giant, was struggling to hold the tree upright. Mira, though frightened by the storm, took a deep breath and, with Nutmeg by her side, approached the tree. She grabbed hold of its branches and used all her strength to help Bramble. Nutmeg scampered up the tree, offering support and encouragement. Together, they managed to steady the tree and protect it from the storm. As the storm subsided, Bramble, now free from his burden, stood tall and smiled warmly at Mira and Nutmeg. "You have shown great kindness, wisdom, and bravery. The Lumina Blooms are yours to find." Bramble led them to a hidden grove where the Lumina Blooms grew in abundance. The flowers glowed softly, casting a gentle light over the grove. Mira and Nutmeg marveled at their beauty and, as the legend promised, were granted a single wish. Mira wished for the happiness and prosperity of Willowbrook and its people. As they made their way back to the village, the Lumina Blooms' magic began to spread, bringing newfound joy and prosperity to Willowbrook. The villagers celebrated Mira and Nutmeg's bravery and kindness with a grand feast, and the valley became a place of wonder and delight for all. And so, the village of Willowbrook thrived under the magic of the Lumina Blooms, forever touched by the courage and kindness of a brave girl and her loyal squirrel friend. The end. Once upon a time, in the charming village of Elder Tree, nestled between emerald hills and a sparkling river, there was a legend about an enchanted orchard hidden deep in the Whispering Woods. The orchard was said to be a place of magic and wonder, where the fruit on the trees could grant extraordinary gifts. However, it was also said that only those with a pure heart and noble intentions could find it. The village was home to a young girl named Arya, known for her kindness and boundless curiosity. Arya had always been fascinated by the stories of the Enchanted Orchard, especially because her village was struggling with a mysterious blight that threatened their crops and livelihoods. Desperate to help, Arya decided to find the orchard and seek its magical fruit. One crisp autumn morning, Arya set out on her journey with a small satchel of supplies and a map she had carefully drawn from old stories. As she entered the Whispering Woods, the trees seemed to whisper encouragement, and the path ahead was bathed in a soft, golden light. The first challenge Arya encountered was the Gate of Seasons, guarded by a gentle fae named Leora. Leora's wings shimmered like autumn leaves as she spoke. To enter the Enchanted Orchard, Leora said, "You must show that you understand the balance of the seasons. Here is a riddle for you. I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have eyes, but I need light. I don't have a mouth, but I need water. What am I?" Arya thought carefully and answered, "A plant." Leora smiled and opened the gate, revealing a path lined with trees that glowed softly with enchantment. Arya continued along the path until she arrived at the crystal pond, where shimmering water reflected the sky like a mirror. Floating on the water was a silver lily pad with a single, radiant pearl. A wise old turtle named Orin, who lived at the pond, greeted her. To retrieve the pearl, Orin said, "You must show patience and care. The water is delicate, and so is your heart. Show me that you can navigate the pond with gentle hands." Arya noticed that the pond was home to delicate fish that darted about playfully. Using a small boat she found nearby, she carefully navigated through the water, avoiding the fish and maintaining a steady course. She reached the lily pad, took the pearl, and returned to the shore, having shown the patience and care Orin had sought. The final challenge led Arya to the Enchanted Orchard itself. She arrived at a grand archway covered in vines and flowers. As she stepped through, she saw trees laden with glowing, magical fruit. However, the orchard was protected by a majestic griffin named Thorn, who guarded the entrance to the heart of the orchard. To take from the orchard, Thorn said, "You must demonstrate the true intent of your heart. To do so, you must answer this question: what is the greatest gift you can give, which cannot be bought or measured?" Arya thought deeply and responded, "The greatest gift is love and kindness, for it is not something that can be bought but is shared freely with others." Thorn nodded in approval, and with a majestic sweep of his wings, he allowed Arya to enter the heart of the orchard. There, she found a single, golden apple hanging from the highest branch of the oldest tree in the orchard. As she reached for the apple, the tree spoke in a gentle, rustling voice. "Pick this apple with a heart full of love and a wish for your village." Arya picked the apple and made a heartfelt wish for the blight to be lifted and for prosperity to return to Elder Tree. The apple glowed brightly, and a warm, golden light spread through the orchard. When Arya returned to her village, she found that the blight had vanished. The crops were lush and healthy, and the fields were green and vibrant once more. The villagers were overjoyed and celebrated Arya's bravery and selflessness. The Enchanted Orchard's magic had not only saved their crops but had also inspired a new sense of hope and unity within the village. Arya's adventure became a cherished story in Elder Tree, a reminder that true magic lies in the purity of one's heart and the kindness one shares with others. And so, the village of Elder Tree thrived, with Arya's courage and the orchard's magic bringing lasting joy and prosperity to the land. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there was a girl named Elara. Elara was known throughout the village for her beautiful singing voice. From dawn till dusk, she would sing songs that made flowers bloom and warmed the hearts of everyone who heard her. One misty morning, while walking through the forest near her home, Elara discovered an old, ornate music box half buried beneath a blanket of fallen leaves. Intrigued, she brushed off the dirt and opened the box. Inside, she found a tiny, golden key and a note that read, "To unlock the magic of the melody, you must find the Echoing Glade." Elara's curiosity was piqued. The Echoing Glade was a place of legend in her village, a mystical meadow where the echoes of ancient melodies were said to linger. Determined to uncover the magic, Elara set out on a quest to find this hidden glade. Following the clues from the note, she journeyed deeper into the forest than she had ever gone before. The trees whispered secrets as she walked, and the path seemed to shimmer under the light of the sun. After hours of wandering, she reached a clearing with a single, grand oak tree in the center. The tree had a hollow trunk with a small door, just the right size for the golden key. Elara inserted the key into the door and turned it gently. The door creaked open, revealing a spiral staircase leading down into the earth. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, she descended the staircase. At the bottom, Elara found herself in the echoing glade. The meadow was bathed in soft moonlight and filled with glowing flowers that danced to an invisible rhythm. At the center of the glade was a large, ancient harp, its strings glowing with a soft, magical light. Next to the harp stood a graceful figure, a fairy with wings that shimmered like the night sky. "Welcome, Elara," the fairy said with a voice like a melody. "I am Lyra, the guardian of the echoing glade. You have discovered the magic of the melody. To unlock its power, you must play the harp and sing a song from your heart." Elara approached the harp, her heart pounding with excitement. She began to play, her fingers gliding over the glowing strings. The harp's music filled the glade with a beautiful, enchanting melody. As she sang along, the air around her seemed to sparkle with magic, and the flowers swayed in harmony with the music. The melody grew stronger, and a gentle breeze carried the song throughout the forest. The magic of the echoing glade began to unfold, revealing hidden wonders, a canopy of twinkling lights, shimmering pools, and creatures of all kinds joining in the joyous celebration. Lyra watched with a smile as Elara's music brought the glade to life. "You have unlocked the magic of the melody," the fairy said. "Your song has restored the harmony of the forest and awakened the ancient magic that was once lost." As a token of gratitude, Lyra gave Elara a small, glowing vial filled with stardust. "This vial contains a part of the magic you have restored. It will guide you back to the echoing glade whenever you wish to return." Elara thanked the fairy and made her way back to her village, carrying the vial with her. As she arrived, she noticed that the village had been touched by the magic of her song. The flowers were blooming more brightly, and the air was filled with a gentle, melodic hum. From that day on, Elara's singing became even more enchanting. The magic of the echoing glade infused her music, and her songs brought joy and wonder to everyone who heard them. The tale of her adventure and the magical melody she discovered became a cherished story in the village. And every night, as Elara sang beneath the starlit sky, she felt the warmth of the echoing glade's magic, knowing that her music had not only unlocked the enchantment of the glade but had also woven its magic into the heart of her village. The end. #The Quest of the Silver Phoenix. Once upon a time, in a land where the sky kissed the mountains and rivers sang to the stars, there was a small kingdom called Eloria. In this kingdom lived a young girl named Leora, who was known for her golden hair and her courage. Leora lived with her grandmother, an old healer who often spoke of the magical creatures that once roamed their lands. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Leora's grandmother told her a tale of the Silver Phoenix. The Silver Phoenix, she said, was a magnificent bird that could heal any wound, grant eternal youth, and bring prosperity. It had vanished many years ago, leaving the land vulnerable to hardships. "Why did it leave, Grandma?" Leora asked, her eyes wide with wonder. "The phoenix left because the people lost their gratitude and kindness," her grandmother replied. "But it is said that the bird will return if a pure-hearted soul proves worthy." Inspired by the story, Leora decided she would find the Silver Phoenix and bring it back to Eloria. She packed a small bag with some bread, a flask of water, and her grandmother's herbal remedies. At dawn, she set off on her journey, with the blessings of her grandmother and the hopes of the villagers. Leora traveled through dense forests, over towering mountains, and across vast deserts. One day, she came upon a shimmering lake, where she met an old fisherman named Kale. He was struggling to catch fish, his nets tangled and torn. "May I help you?" Leora offered. Kale smiled gratefully. Thank you, child. Many pass by but few offer aid. Leora spent the day mending Kale's nets and helping him fish. In return, Kale gave her a silver scale, saying, "This belonged to the silver phoenix. Follow the path of kindness and it will guide you." With renewed determination, Leora continued her journey. She soon entered a dark, enchanted forest where the trees whispered secrets and shadows danced. In the heart of the forest, she found a wounded fox trapped in a hunter's snare. Leora gently freed the fox and treated its wounds with her grandmother's herbs. The fox, grateful and healed, transformed into a beautiful sprite named Erin. "Thank you, brave girl," Erin said. "I was cursed by an envious sorcerer. Your kindness has broken the spell. I shall help you find the silver phoenix." Guided by Erin, Leora ventured deeper into the forest until they reached the foot of a towering mountain. At the peak, they found a cave guarded by a fierce dragon named Draken. The dragon's scales glittered like precious gems, and its eyes burned with a fiery intensity. "Who dares approach my lair?" Draken roared. "I am Leora, and I seek the silver phoenix to bring hope and healing to my land," she answered boldly. Draken eyed her with curiosity. "Many have come seeking the phoenix, but none have been worthy. Prove your worth, and I shall let you pass." With Erin by her side, Leora recounted her journey, her acts of kindness, and her unwavering determination. Draken listened intently, his fierce demeanor softening. "You have shown great courage and compassion," he said finally. "You may enter." Inside the cave, Leora found the silver phoenix perched upon a crystal pedestal, its feathers shimmering like moonlight. The majestic bird gazed at her with ancient, wise eyes. "You have proven yourself, Leora," the phoenix spoke, its voice like a melodious song. "Your heart is pure, and your intentions noble. I will return with you to Eloria." With the phoenix soaring above, Leora and Erin made their way back to the kingdom. The villagers marveled at the sight of the mythical bird, and Leora's grandmother wept with joy. The silver phoenix's presence brought prosperity and health back to Eloria. Crops flourished, the sick were healed, and the land thrived. Leora was celebrated as a hero, but she remained humble, knowing that it was kindness and courage that had led her to the phoenix. And so, Eloria became a land of gratitude and compassion once more, with the silver phoenix as its guardian. Leora's tale was told for generations, inspiring all to lead lives of kindness and bravery. And they lived happily ever after. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where the moon bathed everything in silver light, there was a quaint village named Lunalore. The village was nestled in a valley surrounded by rolling hills and dense forests. It was known for its beautiful moonlit nights, when the moon seemed to touch the earth with its soft glow. In Lunalore lived a young girl named Mira. Mira had a special gift: she could talk to plants. From the tiniest flower to the tallest tree, Mira understood their whispers and songs. Every evening, she would wander the woods, tending to the plants and listening to their stories. One clear night, as Mira walked through the forest, she came across a hidden path she had never seen before. Curiosity piqued, she followed it until she reached a gate made of intertwined silver vines. The gate was adorned with glowing moonstones that shimmered in the moonlight. Mira gently pushed the gate open and stepped inside. Beyond the gate lay a breathtaking garden unlike anything Mira had ever seen. The garden was filled with luminescent flowers, their petals glowing softly in various shades of blue, pink, and violet. The air was filled with a sweet, enchanting fragrance, and the sound of delicate music seemed to emanate from the flowers themselves. In the center of the garden stood a grand, ancient oak tree with a hollow trunk. Mira approached the tree and noticed a small, intricately carved box nestled inside the hollow. The box was covered in strange, glowing symbols that seemed to pulse with the rhythm of the moonlight. As Mira reached for the box, a gentle voice spoke from behind her. "Welcome, kind soul," said a graceful fairy who appeared from among the flowers. Her wings sparkled like stardust, and her eyes twinkled with kindness. "I am Luna, the guardian of the moonlit garden." Mira, amazed and excited, responded, "Hello, Luna. This garden is magical. What is this box? Luna smiled. This box holds the secret of the moonlit garden. It contains a powerful magic that has been hidden away for centuries. To unlock its power, one must prove their heart is pure and their intentions noble. Mira felt a sense of purpose and asked, "How can I prove that?" Luna floated closer and explained, "The box can only be opened by answering 3 riddles. Each riddle is a test of wisdom, compassion, and bravery. If you succeed, the secret within will be revealed." With determination in her eyes, Mira nodded. Luna began with the first riddle. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have nobody, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Mira thought carefully and then said, "An echo." The symbols on the box glowed warmly, and Luna nodded approvingly. "You have answered correctly. Now, for the second riddle, I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Mira pondered the riddle and then answered, "A joke." The box's glow intensified, and Luna's smile widened. "Well done. Now, the final riddle, I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Mira considered the riddle carefully. She thought of the things she had seen and experienced in her life. Finally, she said, "A fire." With that answer, the box's glow became blindingly bright.
That is not medicine.
The lid of the box slowly opened, revealing a shimmering orb of moonlight. The orb floated gently out of the box and hovered in front of Mira and Luna.
That was not medicine.
Luna spoke with reverence. "This is the heart of the garden. It holds the magic that keeps this garden alive and thriving. With its power, you can bring prosperity and harmony to your village." Mira was awestruck and asked, "How can I use this magic?" Luna's eyes shone with a gentle light. "The magic of the heart is meant to be shared. Use it with kindness and wisdom to help those in need. It will guide you in your journey." Mira took the heart of the garden with great care. As she left the magical garden and returned to her village, she carried with her a newfound sense of purpose. She used the garden's magic to help the villagers, heal the land, and bring joy and prosperity to Lunalore. The village flourished under Mira's care, and the garden remained a secret place of wonder, known only to those with a pure heart and noble intentions. And so, Mira's legend grew, and her name was remembered in stories and songs as the girl who discovered the secret of the moonlit garden and used its magic to bring light and love to her world. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by misty mountains, there lived a kind-hearted girl named Mira. Mira was known throughout the village for her bright smile and willingness to help anyone in need. Though her family was poor, Mira never let that stop her from spreading joy and kindness wherever she went. One winter, a terrible storm struck the village. The wind howled through the mountains, and the snow fell so heavily that the villagers could barely leave their homes. The storm lasted for days, and the village was soon covered in a thick blanket of snow. The roads were blocked, and the villagers began to worry about running out of food and supplies. Despite the harsh conditions, Mira continued to care for those around her. She visited the elderly, bringing them warm soup and helping them tend to their fires. She played with the children, telling them stories to keep their spirits high. But as the days went on, Mira noticed that even her bright smile could not chase away the growing fear in the village. One evening, as the storm raged on, Mira's grandmother called her to the fireside. The old woman's eyes were filled with a strange, knowing light. "Mira, my dear," her grandmother said, "there is something I must tell you. Our family has a secret, passed down from generation to generation. It is the story of the enchanted lantern." Mira leaned in closer, intrigued by her grandmother's words. Many years ago, her grandmother continued, a great sorcerer visited this village. He was so moved by the kindness of the people here that he left behind a gift, a magical lantern that can lift the darkest of shadows and bring warmth to the coldest of hearts. The lantern is hidden in the heart of the misty mountains, and it will only reveal itself to someone with a pure heart, someone who seeks to bring light to others. Mira's eyes widened with wonder. "Do you think I could find the lantern, grandmother?" she asked. Her grandmother smiled and nodded. "I believe you can, Mira. You have the purest heart of anyone I know. But be warned, the journey will not be easy. The mountains are treacherous, and the lantern is guarded by powerful magic. You must be brave, and you must never lose hope." Determined to help her village, Mira decided to set out the next morning to find the enchanted lantern. She packed a small bag with some bread, cheese, and a warm blanket, and she wrapped herself in her thickest cloak. As she left her home, the villagers gathered to see her off, their faces filled with hope. "Be careful, Mira," they called after her. "We believe in you." With those words in her heart, Mira began her journey into the misty mountains. The wind was fierce, and the snow was deep, but Mira pressed on, her determination unwavering. She knew that the lantern was the village's only hope. As she climbed higher into the mountains, the storm grew even stronger. The wind howled like a wild beast, and the snow blinded her eyes. But Mira remembered her grandmother's words and kept going, her heart guiding her through the storm. After hours of trudging through the snow, Mira reached a narrow pass between two towering cliffs. The wind funneled through the pass, making it nearly impossible to stand. But Mira knew she had to keep going. She took a deep breath and pushed forward, her feet slipping on the icy ground. Just as she thought she could go no further, a strange light appeared in the distance. It was a soft, golden glow, unlike anything Mira had ever seen. She knew at once that it was the enchanted lantern. With renewed energy, Mira followed the light through the narrow pass. The glow grew brighter as she drew closer, and soon she found herself standing in a hidden valley, sheltered from the storm. In the center of the valley stood the enchanted lantern, its light casting a warm, golden glow over the snow-covered ground. The lantern was beautiful, made of intricately carved silver and glass, with a flame that danced and flickered as if it were alive. As Mira approached, the lantern seemed to recognize her. The flame inside grew brighter, and the air around her grew warm. But just as Mira reached out to take the lantern, a deep voice echoed through the valley. "Who dares to claim the enchanted lantern?" the voice boomed. Mira looked around and saw a figure emerging from the shadows. It was a tall, cloaked figure, with eyes that glowed like embers. The figure was the guardian of the lantern, a being of great power who had been tasked with protecting the magical light. "I am Mira," she said, her voice steady despite her fear. "I come from the village at the foot of the mountains. My people are suffering from the storm, and I seek the lantern to bring them warmth and hope." The guardian studied her for a moment, then nodded slowly. "Your heart is pure, Mira, but the lantern's power is not given lightly. To claim it, you must prove that you are worthy. Are you willing to face the trials?" Mira nodded without hesitation. "I am willing." The guardian raised a hand, and the valley around them began to change. The snow melted away, and the trees and flowers bloomed as if it were spring. But then, the ground began to shake, and the sky darkened. "The first trial," the guardian said, "is the trial of courage. You must face your greatest fear." Mira felt the ground tremble beneath her feet as a deep chasm opened up before her. From the darkness below, she could hear the sound of rushing water and see flashes of lightning. She knew she had to cross the chasm, but there was no bridge, and the gap was too wide to jump. Her heart pounded in her chest as she approached the edge of the chasm. She knew she had to be brave, but the fear was overwhelming. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath, remembering the faces of the villagers who were counting on her. "I can do this," she whispered to herself. "I have to do this." As she opened her eyes, she saw a narrow path of stones appear across the chasm. The stones were small and spaced far apart, but they were the only way across. Summoning all her courage, Mira stepped onto the first stone. It wobbled under her weight, but she kept her balance and moved to the next one. Step by step, she crossed the chasm, her heart pounding with every move. The wind howled around her, and the darkness below seemed to reach up for her, but Mira didn't stop. She kept her eyes on the other side, knowing that she had to be brave. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Mira reached the other side of the chasm. She collapsed to the ground, her legs trembling, but she had made it. The guardian appeared before her, his eyes filled with approval. "You have passed the trial of courage," the guardian said. "But your journey is not yet over. The second trial awaits." The valley changed again, this time becoming a lush, green forest filled with towering trees and colorful flowers. But the beauty of the forest was overshadowed by a deep, haunting sadness that hung in the air. "The second trial," the guardian said, "is the trial of compassion. You must heal the heart of the forest." Mira walked through the forest, feeling the sadness around her. The trees seemed to droop, and the flowers had lost their vibrant colors. As she continued, she came across a small, wounded bird lying on the ground. Its wing was broken, and it looked up at Mira with eyes full of pain. Without hesitation, Mira knelt beside the bird and gently picked it up. She cradled it in her hands, whispering soothing words as she tore a strip of cloth from her cloak to bandage its wing. The bird chirped softly as Mira worked, and she felt a warmth spread through her heart. As she tended to the bird, the sadness in the forest began to lift. The trees stood taller, and the flowers regained their color. By the time Mira finished bandaging the bird's wing, the forest was alive with light and warmth. The guardian appeared once more, his expression softer now. "You have passed the trial of compassion," he said. "You have healed the heart of the forest, and in doing so, you have shown that you possess the kindness and empathy needed to wield the lantern's power." Mira smiled, feeling a sense of peace wash over her. She knew that the final trial awaited, but she felt ready. The valley changed one last time, becoming a vast, starry night sky. The stars twinkled brightly, but there was no ground beneath Mira's feet. "The final trial," the guardian said, "is the trial of wisdom. You must find your way through the stars to reach the lantern." Mira looked around, feeling a bit lost. The stars were beautiful, but they offered no clear path. She closed her eyes and took a deep breath, thinking about everything she had learned on her journey. She remembered her grandmother's words, the courage she had shown, and the compassion she had shared. As she opened her eyes, she realized that the stars were not just random lights in the sky, they formed constellations, each one telling a story. Mira recognized the stories from the tales her grandmother had told her, and she began to follow them. Step by step, she made her way through the stars, guided by the wisdom of the stories. The constellations lit her path, leading her closer and closer to the lantern. Finally, after what felt like a long, yet swift journey, Mira reached the center of the sky, where the enchanted lantern floated, glowing brighter than ever. The guardian appeared before her, his eyes filled with pride. "You have passed the trial of wisdom," he said. "You have shown that you possess not only courage and compassion, but also the wisdom to guide others. The enchanted lantern is yours, Mira." Mira reached out and took the lantern, feeling its warmth spread through her body. The lantern's light was soft and golden, filling her with a sense of peace and hope. With the lantern in hand, Mira made her way back to the village. The storm had passed, and the villagers gathered around her, their faces filled with awe as they saw the lantern's light. Mira held the lantern high, and its light spread throughout the village, melting the snow and warming the hearts of everyone who saw it. The villagers cheered, their fear and sadness replaced with joy and hope. From that day on, the enchanted lantern became a symbol of hope for the village. Mira was hailed as a hero, but she remained humble, always remembering the lessons she had learned on her journey. She knew that true strength came from within and that the greatest power of all was the ability to spread light to others. And so, the village thrived, guided by the light of the enchanted lantern and the wisdom of a kind-hearted girl who had the courage to seek it out. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where twilight painted the sky with hues of purple and gold, there was a magical kingdom called Celestia. This kingdom was known for its breathtaking night skies, where stars twinkled in elaborate patterns that told stories of old. The beauty of the stars was thanks to the kingdom's star painter, an enigmatic figure who painted the night sky with stardust and dreams. The star painter, whose real name was Alara, lived in a grand observatory atop the highest hill in Celestia. She used a magical brush made from moonlight and stardust to create constellations and celestial designs. Every night, she would weave the tapestry of stars that enchanted the kingdom's people. One evening, as Elara prepared for her nightly task, a dark cloud blotted out the moon, causing the sky to become dim and gloomy. Elara realized with horror that her magical brush had gone missing. Without it, she couldn't paint the stars, and the night sky would remain dark and empty. Panicked, Elara set out on a quest to find her missing brush. Guided by the faint glimmer of the stars that still managed to shine through the darkness, she ventured into the enchanted forest, a place known for its whimsical and mysterious creatures. As Elara walked deeper into the forest, she encountered a wise old owl named Orion perched on a branch. Orion was known for his vast knowledge of the forest secrets. "Have you seen a magical brush?" Elara asked urgently. "It's crucial for my work as the star painter." Orion hooted thoughtfully. "I've heard whispers of a shadowy figure who has been seen roaming these woods. They might have taken your brush. To find them, you must first solve the riddle of the forest." The owl presented Elara with a riddle. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have nobody, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Elara pondered and then answered, "An echo." Orion's eyes gleamed with approval. "You are wise, and you are on the right path. The shadowy figure you seek is hiding in the moonlit grove, where echoes come to life." With Orion's guidance, Elara reached the moonlit grove, a place where the moonlight created an enchanting glow and shadows danced among the trees. As she entered the grove, she spotted a figure cloaked in darkness, holding her magical brush. "Stop right there," Elara called out. "That brush belongs to me." The shadowy figure revealed themselves to be a mischievous sprite named Lyric, known for her love of playing tricks. Lyric had taken the brush because she wanted to create her own constellation, one that she hoped would bring laughter and joy to the land. "I didn't mean any harm," Lyric explained. "I just wanted to add a little fun to the sky." Elara smiled understandingly. "I see your intentions were good, but the brush is part of a delicate balance that keeps the night sky beautiful for everyone. Perhaps we can work together to create something special." Lyric's eyes lit up with excitement. "Really? I'd love that." The two of them collaborated, combining Lyric's playful creativity with Elara's expert touch. They painted a new constellation, one that twinkled with vibrant colors and playful shapes, bringing both wonder and joy to the night sky. The constellation told a story of harmony and friendship, reflecting the unity between Elara and Lyric. When the constellation was complete, the night sky sparkled more brilliantly than ever, and the people of Celestia rejoiced at the new addition. Elara thanked Lyric for her help, and the sprite promised to use her mischief for good from then on. Elara and Lyric's newfound friendship became the talk of the kingdom. They continued to work together, creating mesmerizing night skies that celebrated the beauty of both magic and joy. The tale of the star painter and the mischievous sprite became a beloved legend in Celestia, reminding everyone of the magic that happens when creativity and cooperation come together. And so, the kingdom of Celestia shone brightly under its enchanting sky, a testament to the power of friendship and the wonders that arise from working together. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there was a beautiful forest known as the Enchanted Forest. The trees there whispered secrets, and the flowers sang lullabies. The forest was protected by magical creatures who lived in harmony, ensuring no harm would come to their beloved home. In the heart of this kingdom stood a grand castle, where King Edmund and Queen Isabella ruled with kindness and wisdom. They had a daughter named Princess Lily, who was as curious as she was brave. Princess Lily loved to explore the enchanted forest, always accompanied by her loyal dog, Max. One day, while wandering deeper into the forest than ever before, Princess Lily and Max came across a shimmering pond. The water sparkled under the sunlight, and in the middle of the pond was a small island with a beautiful, glowing flower. Drawn to its beauty, Princess Lily decided to take a closer look. Just as she stepped onto the island, a sudden mist enveloped the area. When the mist cleared, Princess Lily found herself in a strange, unfamiliar part of the forest. She was lost. Max barked worriedly, and Princess Lily tried to calm him, though she herself felt a bit scared. As they wandered, trying to find their way back, they met a wise old owl named Oliver. "Who are you, young one?" asked Oliver. "I am Princess Lily," she replied. "I seem to be lost. Can you help me find my way back home?" Oliver's eyes twinkled kindly. "The forest has many paths, but not all lead where you wish to go. To find your way, you must seek the help of 3 guardians: the spirit of the trees, the guardian of the river, and the keeper of the stars." Princess Lily thanked Oliver and set off with Max to find the first guardian. They soon came to a grove of ancient trees. As they walked among them, the trees seemed to bend and move, guiding her. From behind the largest tree, a gentle voice spoke. "I am Silva, the spirit of the trees. Why do you seek me, princess?" Princess Lily explained her plight, and Silva smiled warmly. "To help you, I will give you a leaf that always points north. It will guide you through the forest. But remember, it can only show you the way. You must find your courage to follow it." With the magical leaf in hand, Princess Lily and Max continued their journey. They followed the leaf's direction until they reached a wide, flowing river. The water was clear and blue, and on its surface, tiny fish danced in the sunlight. By the riverbank, a graceful deer emerged from the trees. "I am Ril, the guardian of the river. How can I assist you, princess?" Again, Princess Lily shared her story. Ril dipped her head and said, "I will grant you a vial of enchanted water. It will give you strength and clarity when you need it most. But remember, true strength comes from within." Grateful for Ril's gift, Princess Lily and Max crossed the river and continued their quest. As night fell, the forest began to glow with the light of countless fireflies. They soon found themselves in a meadow under a sky filled with stars. In the center of the meadow stood a unicorn with a shimmering mane. "I am Astra, the keeper of the stars. Why have you come to me, princess?" Princess Lily told Astra of her journey and her wish to find her way back home. Astra's horn glowed brightly as she said, "I will give you a star to light your path. It will shine the brightest when you are near your goal. But remember, the light within you is what will truly guide you." With the star illuminating their way, Princess Lily and Max felt more hopeful. They continued through the forest, following the leaf's direction, drinking the enchanted water when they grew tired, and trusting the star's light. Finally, they emerged from the forest and saw the familiar towers of the castle in the distance. Overjoyed, Princess Lily and Max ran towards home. The king and queen, who had been worried sick, were overjoyed to see their daughter safe and sound. Princess Lily shared her adventure with her parents, telling them of the wise owl, the spirit of the trees, the guardian of the river, and the keeper of the stars. The king and queen praised her bravery and kindness, and the whole kingdom celebrated her return. From that day on, Princess Lily never forgot the lessons she learned in the enchanted forest. She became a wise and compassionate ruler, always guided by the courage and light within her. And so, the kingdom prospered, and the enchanted forest remained a place of magic and wonder for all to cherish. Once upon a time, in the tranquil kingdom of Celestia, there was a magical forest known as the Enchanted Grove. This forest was renowned for its shimmering flowers and whispering trees. At the heart of the forest stood the Moonstone Tree, a majestic tree with glowing silver leaves that were said to grant a single wish under the light of a full moon. In the village of Starbrook, a young girl named Ilara lived with her grandmother. Ilara was known for her curiosity and kindness. She often visited the Enchanted Grove to listen to the stories of the whispering trees and help the woodland creatures. Her favorite companion was a mischievous but loyal squirrel named Nutty. One evening, as the full moon began to rise, Ilara and Nutty set out to visit the Moonstone Tree. The sky was clear, and the moonlight danced across the forest floor. They arrived at the Moonstone Tree and noticed something unusual. The tree's glow was dim, and its silver leaves seemed to be losing their luster. Ilara found a scroll tied to one of the branches. The scroll read, "To restore the Moonstone Tree's magic, you must complete 3 tasks. only those with true hearts will succeed. Determined to help, Elara and Nutty prepared for the first task, the trial of the Whispering Winds. They followed a path that led to a clearing where the winds carried soft, melodic whispers. Elara needed to decipher the whispers to find the right path to the next task. Nutty's sharp ears helped him catch the faint whispers that Elara couldn't quite hear. By listening carefully and following the gentle breeze, they discovered a hidden path leading to a grove with an ancient oak tree. The oak tree, though wise, was saddened and in need of a friend. Elara comforted the oak tree and offered to listen to its stories. The oak shared tales of old, and Elara's kind words and attention lifted its spirits. In return, the oak revealed the way to the next task. The second task was the trial of the shimmering pool. They arrived at a sparkling pool surrounded by iridescent stones. In the center of the pool was a glowing orb that needed to be retrieved. The pool's surface was calm, but Elara had to figure out how to reach the orb without disturbing the delicate balance of the water. Nutty used his nimble paws to carefully place the stones around the pool, creating a stable path. Elara carefully walked across the stones and retrieved the orb. As she held it up, the pool's surface shimmered with a radiant light, signaling the completion of the second task. The final task was the trial of the heart's light. They reached a grove where a group of tiny, glowing fireflies danced around a withered flower. The flower, once vibrant, had lost its light and needed to be revived. Elara and Nutty gathered the fireflies and used their soft light to nurture the flower. Elara spoke gently to the flower, sharing her hopes and dreams. As her words of kindness and encouragement filled the air, the flower began to bloom once more, its petals glowing brightly. With the 3 tasks complete, the moonstone tree's glow was restored. Its silver leaves sparkled under the full moon, casting a warm light across the forest. The tree's magic was rejuvenated, and the enchanted grove once again thrived with vibrant energy. Elara made her wish with the moonstone tree. "I wish for the forest and its creatures to always be safe and happy." The moonstone tree's magic enveloped the enchanted grove, ensuring that it remained a place of wonder and harmony. The creatures of the forest rejoiced, and Elara and Nutty were celebrated as heroes. The villagers of Starbrook heard of Elara's adventure and praised her bravery and kindness. The story of Elara and the moonstone tree became a cherished legend, a reminder of the power of love and courage. And so, the enchanted grove continued to shine under the moonlight, a symbol of the magic that lives in every heart. The end. Once upon a time, in a peaceful kingdom called Eldoria, there was a shimmering lake known as Silver Lake. The lake was famous for its crystal-clear waters and the way it reflected the moonlight like liquid silver. However, it was also said to harbor a great secret that no one had ever uncovered. In the village of Rivendale, near the lake, lived a young boy named Finn. Finn was adventurous and loved exploring the woods and streams that surrounded his village. He often heard tales about Silver Lake's mysterious past but had never ventured too close to it, as the villagers believed it was enchanted and avoided the lake after dark. One evening, as the full moon cast a silver glow over the lake, Finn decided it was time to uncover the secret of Silver Lake. Armed with a lantern, a notebook, and his trusty dog, Bramble, he set out towards the lake under the light of the moon. As Finn approached the lake, he noticed that the water seemed to glow even more intensely. The light danced across the surface, creating intricate patterns. He followed the edge of the lake until he reached an ancient willow tree with a hollow trunk. Inside the hollow, he found an old, ornate key. Curious, Finn took the key and continued around the lake until he came across an old stone archway covered in vines. The archway led to a hidden entrance beneath the water's edge. Heart pounding with excitement, Finn used the key to unlock a hidden latch on the archway, which slowly creaked open. Bramble barked with excitement as Finn entered the hidden passage. The passageway led to an underground chamber bathed in the soft glow of bioluminescent plants. In the center of the chamber was a pedestal with a magnificent silver box. The silver box was intricately engraved with symbols and patterns that seemed to shimmer with a light of their own. Finn carefully opened the box, and inside, he found an ancient scroll and a delicate silver locket. As Finn unrolled the scroll, he saw that it was a map showing a constellation in the night sky and instructions for a ritual to be performed under the full moon. The scroll explained that the silver locket was a magical artifact that could only be activated by someone with a heart full of courage and kindness. With the instructions in hand, Finn and Bramble returned to the lake. As the full moon rose high in the sky, Finn followed the map's instructions and placed the locket in the center of the lake. The moonlight reflected off the locket, creating a mesmerizing pattern on the water. Suddenly, the water of Silver Lake began to ripple, and a soft, melodic song echoed through the chamber. From the depths of the lake, a beautiful mermaid named Elara emerged. She was adorned with shimmering scales and had a crown made of moonlight. Elara thanked Finn for finding the locket and performing the ritual. She explained that she had been guarding the secret of Silver Lake for centuries. The lake's magic had protected her and her kin, and the locket had been the key to maintaining the enchantment. Elara revealed that the true secret of the lake was its power to grant one wish to someone who proved their bravery and kindness. She asked Finn to make his wish. Finn thought carefully. He realized that while he could wish for anything, what mattered most was the well-being of his village and the protection of the magical lake. He wished for the lake to remain a source of wonder and harmony for the kingdom, ensuring its magic would continue to benefit the people of Eldoria. Elara smiled warmly at Finn. "Your wish is wise and selfless. The magic of Silver Lake will remain, and its light will continue to guide and inspire." With that, Elara and the magical water of the lake began to retreat back into the depths. The silver locket, now glowing with a steady light, floated back to the surface, and Finn retrieved it to keep as a symbol of his adventure. As Finn returned to Rivendell, he shared his tale with the villagers. They were amazed by the story and celebrated the continued magic of Silver Lake. The lake became a cherished part of their lives, a place of reflection and wonder. And so, the legend of Silver Lake grew, a reminder of the bravery and kindness of a young boy who uncovered its secret and made a wish for the greater good. The lake continued to shine with its silver light, guiding and inspiring all who visited. Once upon a time, in a quaint little village nestled in a green valley, there lived a tiny mouse named Milo. Milo was known throughout the village for his curiosity and adventurous spirit. While other mice scurried around collecting crumbs and hiding from danger, Milo dreamed of exploring the world beyond the village. One sunny morning, as Milo was wandering near the edge of the forest, he overheard a group of villagers talking about a dragon that lived in a mountain cave. The dragon, they said, guarded a treasure of unimaginable wealth. The villagers were too afraid to approach the mountain, fearing the dragon's fiery breath. Milo's eyes sparkled with excitement. A dragon and a treasure? What an adventure that would be, he thought. Despite his small size, Milo was determined to find the dragon's cave and see the treasure for himself. The next day, Milo set out on his journey. He packed a small satchel with bits of cheese, bread, and a tiny lantern. As he ventured into the forest, the trees towered above him, and the path was filled with shadows. But Milo was not afraid. He followed the stories he had heard, keeping his ears alert for any sign of danger. After several days of traveling, Milo reached the foot of the mountain. The path up the mountain was steep and treacherous, but Milo climbed with determination. He used his sharp claws to grip the rocky surface and his keen senses to navigate the narrow ledges. Finally, after a long and tiring climb, Milo reached the entrance of the dragon's cave. The cave was vast and dark, with a faint glow emanating from deep within. Milo lit his tiny lantern and cautiously entered the cave. As he ventured deeper, Milo saw piles of gold coins, sparkling jewels, and precious artifacts. But at the center of it all, lying on a bed of gold, was the dragon. The dragon was enormous, with shimmering green scales and eyes that glowed like embers. Milo's heart pounded in his chest, but he took a deep breath and stepped forward. "Excuse me, mighty dragon," he squeaked, "I am Milo, a humble mouse from the village. I have come to see the legendary treasure you guard." The dragon opened one eye and looked at Milo with curiosity. "A brave little mouse, indeed," the dragon rumbled. "Most creatures flee at the sight of me. What do you seek, Milo? Milo stood tall, despite his small size. I seek adventure and knowledge. I want to see the world and understand its wonders. Your treasure is part of that wonder. The dragon chuckled, a sound like distant thunder. You are brave and honest, little mouse. I admire your courage. But tell me, what would you do with my treasure if you could take it? Milo thought for a moment. I would share it with my village. We have many who are poor and hungry. Your treasure could bring them comfort and happiness. The dragon nodded thoughtfully. Very well, Milo. You may take a single item from my treasure, but choose wisely. Sometimes, the smallest treasures hold the greatest value. Milo scanned the piles of gold and jewels, his eyes finally resting on a small, intricately carved wooden box. It was plain compared to the glittering treasures, but something about it drew him in. He picked up the box and opened it, revealing a shimmering crystal inside. This crystal is beautiful, Milo said, holding it up. I choose this. The dragon smiled. An excellent choice. That crystal holds the power to grant a single wish. Use it wisely, Milo. With the crystal in his satchel, Milo thanked the dragon and began his journey back to the village. The climb down the mountain was just as challenging, but Milo's heart was light with excitement. When he finally returned to the village, the villagers gathered around, eager to hear about his adventure. Milo showed them the crystal and explained its power. The villagers were amazed and asked Milo what he would wish for. Milo held the crystal close and made his wish. I wish for our village to prosper, for no one to go hungry, and for everyone to live in peace and happiness. The crystal glowed brightly and then disappeared in a burst of light. Suddenly, the village seemed to transform. Fields flourished with abundant crops, houses repaired themselves, and the air was filled with joy and laughter. The villagers cheered and celebrated, grateful for Milo's bravery and wisdom. From that day on, the village thrived, and Milo was hailed as a hero. He continued to explore and have adventures, but he always remembered the lesson of the dragon's treasure, that the greatest wealth lies in helping others and sharing happiness. And so, Milo the brave little mouse lived a life full of adventure, kindness, and joy, knowing that even the smallest creatures can make the biggest difference. The end. Once upon a time, in a picturesque village nestled between rolling green hills and the sparkling river, there was a young girl named Arya. Arya lived with her father, a humble woodworker, in a cozy cottage at the edge of the village. Though they were not wealthy, their lives were filled with love and music, as Arya had inherited her late mother's talent for playing the violin. Arya's violin was special. It had been crafted by her mother and was said to have an enchantment that could move hearts and even change the world. The village of Harmonyville was named after its love for music, and every evening, Arya would play her violin in the village square, bringing joy and peace to everyone who heard her. One evening, as Arya played a particularly beautiful melody, a mysterious old man with a long, flowing beard and kind eyes approached her. He listened intently until she finished and then introduced himself as Maestro, the guardian of musical magic. Arya, Maestro said in a voice as smooth as velvet, your music holds great power, but the enchantment within your violin has faded over time. To restore its full magic, you must embark on a journey to the enchanted grove and find the melody of the stars. Only then will your music reach its true potential. Determined to restore the magic of her violin, Arya set out on her journey the next morning. Maestro gave her a map that would guide her through the whispering forest to the enchanted grove. With a heart full of hope and a satchel packed with essentials, Arya ventured into the forest. As she walked along the winding paths, Arya encountered a talking bluebird named Lyric, who offered to guide her through the densest part of the forest. Lyric's cheerful songs kept Arya's spirits high as they made their way to the first challenge, a riddle posed by an ancient oak tree named Elderwood. To continue your journey, Elderwood said in a deep, resonant voice, you must solve my riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I? Arya thought carefully and then replied, an echo. Elderwood's branches rustled in approval, and he revealed a hidden path that led to a shimmering lake where a graceful swan named Serenade awaited her. To cross this lake, Serenade said, you must prove your courage. Beneath the water lies a sunken treasure chest containing a golden key. Dive deep and retrieve the key, and I will ferry you across. Without hesitation, Arya dove into the clear, cool water. She swam down to the lake bed, where she found the treasure chest. Opening it, she retrieved the golden key and swam back to the surface. Serenade, impressed by her bravery, transformed into a beautiful boat and ferried Arya across the lake. On the other side of the lake, Arya entered the enchanted grove, where the air was filled with the soft hum of magical melodies. In the center of the grove stood a pedestal with a celestial lyre, its strings glowing with the light of 1,000 stars. This was the melody of the stars that Maestro had spoken of. As Arya approached the lyre, a gentle voice filled the grove. To restore your violin's magic, you must play a melody that comes from the depths of your heart. Only true emotion can awaken the lyre's power. Arya took her violin and began to play a tune that spoke of her love for her father, her late mother, and the joy that music brought to her village. As she played, the strings of the celestial lyre resonated with her violin, creating a harmony so beautiful that it brought tears to her eyes. A brilliant light enveloped the grove, and Arya felt the magic of the melody of the stars flow into her violin. When the light faded, she knew that her violin's enchantment had been restored. With her heart full of gratitude, Arya returned to Harmonyville. That evening, she played her violin in the village square, and the music was more enchanting than ever before. The villagers felt a profound sense of peace and happiness, and even the stars seemed to twinkle in time with her melody. Maestro appeared once more, smiling warmly. You have done well, Arya. Your music now holds the magic to bring joy and healing to all who hear it. Remember, the true magic lies within your heart. From that day on, Arya's music became legendary, and Harmonyville flourished under the spell of her enchanting melodies. Her story was passed down through generations, a testament to the power of music and the magic that can be found in a kind and courageous heart. And so, Arya and her enchanted violin continued to bring harmony to the world, their music a beacon of hope and joy for all who listened. Once upon a time, in a village nestled between misty mountains and the sparkling lake, lived a young girl named Lila. Lila was known for her creativity and her vivid dreams. Each night, she would drift off to sleep and her dreams would weave tales of magical lands, fantastic creatures, and daring adventures. One evening, as she sat by the lake, Lila noticed something unusual. A shooting star streaked across the sky, trailing a ribbon of shimmering light. The star seemed to be guiding her, and as she followed its path, she came upon a small, hidden cave covered in ivy. Inside the cave, Lila discovered a beautifully carved wooden box adorned with celestial patterns. She opened it carefully and found a delicate, silver thread and a note that read, "To find the dream weaver, follow the thread of stars." Intrigued, Lila picked up the silver thread, which began to glow softly. As she held it, she felt a gentle tug, as if the thread was guiding her. She followed the thread through the forest, over hills, and across a meadow, until she reached a magnificent, glowing tree in the heart of an enchanted forest. The tree's branches sparkled with countless twinkling lights, and its leaves shimmered in hues of blue and silver. At the base of the tree stood a graceful figure, a dream weaver, with a gown made of starlight and a crown of moonbeams. Her name was Astra, and her presence radiated warmth and kindness. "Welcome, Lila," Astra said with a voice that sounded like a gentle breeze. "I am Astra, the dream weaver. You have followed the thread of stars and found your way here. Your dreams are filled with great magic, and you have been chosen to help restore the balance between dreams and reality." Lila's eyes widened in wonder. "How can I help?" Astra explained that the dream realm was in danger. A shadowy creature known as the Night Wraith had stolen the Dream Stone, which kept the balance between dreams and reality. Without it, dreams were becoming chaotic and unsettling, and the dream realm was losing its light. To restore the balance, Astra continued, "You must journey to the Night Wraith's lair and retrieve the Dream Stone. Only someone with a pure heart and a brave spirit can succeed. With a determined heart, Lila accepted the quest. Astra gave her a small, star-shaped pendant. This pendant will guide you and protect you on your journey. Lila set off towards the night wraith's lair, her path illuminated by the pendant's soft glow. The journey was challenging, dark forests, swirling mists, and eerie shadows. But Lila's courage never wavered, and the pendant's light helped her find her way. Finally, she arrived at the night wraith's lair, a gloomy cavern filled with swirling darkness. At the center of the cavern, Lila saw the Dream Stone, guarded by the night wraith, a creature cloaked in shifting shadows. The wraith seemed to be writhing and twisting, its eyes glowing with a sinister light. Lila took a deep breath and approached the Dream Stone. "Why have you taken the Dream Stone?" she asked bravely. The night wraith's voice echoed through the cavern. "I took it to plunge the dream realm into eternal darkness. I was jealous of the light and the dreams of others. I wanted the power for myself." Lila looked at the night wraith with compassion. The Dream Stone is meant to bring balance and light to everyone's dreams. Taking it only causes suffering. Please, return it, and we can find a way to share the light. The night wraith hesitated, its form flickering and dimming. Lila's words seemed to touch something within it. With a reluctant sigh, the night wraith relinquished the Dream Stone. As soon as the stone was returned, its light filled the cavern, dispelling the shadows and restoring the balance. Lila took the Dream Stone back to the enchanted tree. Astra awaited her arrival with a radiant smile. "You have done it, Lila. The Dream Stone has been restored, and the balance between dreams and reality is saved. Your bravery and kindness have brought light back to the dream realm." Astra presented Lila with a gift, a woven dream catcher adorned with stardust. This dream catcher will help you keep your dreams safe and magical. It will also guide you in times of need. Lila thanked Astra and returned to her village, the dream catcher hanging above her bed. From that day on, her dreams were even more vibrant and wondrous. The villagers marveled at the tales Lila would share, each one more magical than the last. And every night, as Lila drifted off to sleep, she felt a gentle glow of light surrounding her, knowing that the balance of dreams had been restored and that the magic of the dream weaver was always with her. The end. The Moonlit Well. In a quaint village nestled at the edge of a mystical forest, there was a well known as the Moonlit Well. This well was no ordinary one. It was said to be enchanted by the moonlight that touched its waters, making it sparkle with a soft, ethereal glow. The villagers believed that the well could grant one true wish to anyone with a pure heart. Among the villagers was a young boy named Elias. Elias was kind-hearted and always dreamed of making his village a better place. His village had been facing a long drought, and the once lush fields were now dry and barren. Elias decided that he would use the well's magic to wish for rain to restore his village's prosperity. The quest for the Moonlit Well. One evening, under a silver moon, Elias set out for the Moonlit Well. Guided by the moonlight, he ventured into the forest. The forest was alive with magic, fireflies danced in the air, and the trees whispered ancient songs. As he journeyed deeper into the forest, Elias encountered three magical creatures. The first was a wise old tortoise named Tiberius, who spoke in riddles. The second was a graceful deer named Seraphina, whose eyes shone with kindness. The third was a playful fox named Finn, who loved to play tricks but had a heart of gold. Each creature offered Elias a piece of advice. Tiberius warned him to be cautious of his own desires, Seraphina encouraged him to listen to his heart, and Finn told him to remember that true magic comes from within. The enchanted pool. After days of traveling, Elias finally reached the Moonlit Well. The well was more beautiful than he had imagined, with water that shimmered like liquid moonlight. Elias took a deep breath and made his wish, "I wish for rain to restore our village and bring life back to our fields." As soon as Elias made his wish, the waters of the well began to swirl and glow brighter. But instead of a simple answer, a mystical figure appeared, a shimmering moon spirit named Lenara. Lenara spoke with a voice like a gentle breeze, "Your heart is pure, and your wish is noble. But true magic requires more than a wish, it requires action and sacrifice. The test of the heart. Lenara explained that Elias must complete 3 tasks to prove the sincerity of his wish. The first task was to find and bring back a single moonflower from the heart of the forest. The moonflower only bloomed under the full moon and was said to possess great magic. The second task was to mend a broken wing of a celestial bird that had fallen from the sky. The bird's song was essential for calling the rain, and without it, the magic could not be complete. The third task was to share his last piece of bread with a starving traveler who had lost their way in the forest. This act of kindness would demonstrate Elias's selflessness. The journey of challenges. Elias accepted the challenges with determination. Guided by the moonlight, he found the moonflower blooming in a hidden grove. He carefully picked it, ensuring not to damage its delicate petals. Next, Elias found the celestial bird with a broken wing nestled in a grove of ancient trees. He gently tended to its injury, using herbs and bandages he had learned about from the village healer. The bird's wing was soon healed, and it sang a beautiful, melodious song that filled the forest with hope. Finally, Elias came across a weary traveler. Without hesitation, he offered the traveler his last piece of bread and shared stories to comfort them. The traveler, grateful for Elias's kindness, revealed that they were a wise sage who had been testing Elias's heart. The fulfillment of the wish. With the tasks completed, Lenara reappeared. She was moved by Elias's actions and the purity of his heart. As a reward, Lenara used her moonlight magic to summon rain clouds. The rain began to fall, gently at first, then pouring down in a nourishing torrent. The fields of Elias's village began to bloom, and life returned to the land. Elias returned to his village as a hero, celebrated for his bravery and kindness. The villagers rejoiced as their crops flourished and their wells filled with fresh water. The story of Elias's journey and the moonlit well became a cherished legend, a testament to the power of selflessness and the magic that lies within the heart of those who care deeply for others. And so, the village thrived under the gentle rain and the light of the moon, forever guided by the spirit of the moonlit well and the heroism of a young boy named Elias. Once upon a time, in a lush and vibrant forest called Evergreen, there lived a tiny mouse named Milo. Milo was no ordinary mouse. He had a heart as brave as a lion and a curiosity that knew no bounds. The forest was his playground, and he spent his days exploring its nooks and crannies, always seeking new adventures. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the forest was bathed in the soft glow of twilight, Milo overheard a conversation between 2 old oak trees. They whispered about a mysterious crystal flower hidden deep within the enchanted grove. The crystal flower was said to possess incredible magical powers, capable of granting any wish to the one who found it. But the grove was dangerous, filled with traps and guarded by a fierce and cunning serpent. Milo's whiskers twitched with excitement. He thought of his family and friends and how the crystal flower could bring prosperity to their small community. Determined to find the flower, he set off on his journey that very night, guided by the light of the full moon. As Milo ventured deeper into the forest, he encountered a wise old owl named Athena. Perched high on a branch, Athena looked down at Milo with her piercing eyes. "Where are you headed, little one?" she hooted softly. "I seek the crystal flower in the enchanted grove," Milo replied. "I want to help my family and friends." Athena nodded, impressed by Milo's courage. "The path to the enchanted grove is fraught with danger. You will need wisdom and bravery to succeed. Take this feather," she said, plucking a feather from her wing. "It will protect you from harm." Milo thanked Athena and continued on his way, clutching the feather tightly. As he approached the entrance to the enchanted grove, he noticed the air growing colder, and an eerie silence fell over the forest. The trees here were twisted and gnarled, their branches reaching out like skeletal arms. Suddenly, a rustling sound broke the silence. Milo turned to see a fox with a sleek, reddish coat and cunning eyes emerge from the shadows. "What brings you to the enchanted grove, little mouse?" the fox asked, its voice smooth and menacing. "I seek the crystal flower," Milo answered, standing tall despite his fear. The fox chuckled. Many have tried, but none have succeeded. The serpent that guards the flower is relentless. But perhaps I can help you. Answer my riddle, and I will show you the way." Milo nodded, his mind racing. "Very well," he said. The fox's eyes gleamed. "What has keys but can't open locks, has space but no room, and you can enter but not go inside?" Milo thought for a moment, then smiled. "A keyboard," he replied confidently. The fox's grin widened. "Correct, little mouse. Follow this path, but beware of the serpent." With the fox's guidance, Milo continued deeper into the grove until he reached a clearing bathed in moonlight. In the center of the clearing stood the crystal flower, its petals shimmering with an otherworldly glow. But coiled around the flower was the serpent, its scales glistening like polished emeralds and its eyes fixed on Milo. "Who dares approach my flower?" the serpent hissed, its voice a venomous whisper. "I am Milo, and I seek the crystal flower to help my family and friends," Milo said bravely, holding up Athena's feather. The serpent eyed the feather warily, recognizing its protective magic. "Very well, Milo. If you wish to claim the flower, you must prove your worth. Tell me, what is the greatest power in the world?" Milo thought about his adventures and the friends who had helped him along the way. He looked into the serpent's eyes and said, "The greatest power in the world is love. It is love that drives us to be brave, to seek wisdom, and to help others." The serpent stared at Milo for a long moment, then slowly uncoiled itself from around the flower. "You have answered wisely, little mouse. The crystal flower is yours." With a grateful heart, Milo approached the flower and gently plucked it from the ground. As he did, a warm light enveloped him, and he felt a surge of magic flow through him. The flower's power was now his to command. Milo returned to his village, where he was greeted with cheers and tears of joy. Using the magic of the crystal flower, he brought prosperity to his community, ensuring that no one would ever go hungry or thirsty again. The forest flourished, and the animals lived in harmony, all thanks to the bravery and love of a tiny mouse named Milo. And so, Milo's legend spread far and wide, reminding everyone that even the smallest among us can achieve great things when driven by love and courage. The end. The Starlit Tree. Once upon a time, in a hidden corner of the world, there was a magical forest known as Eldergrove. Eldergrove was a place of wonder, where ancient trees whispered secrets, and the air sparkled with enchantment. At the heart of this forest stood the Starlit Tree, a colossal tree whose branches touched the heavens and whose leaves glowed with the light of 1,000 stars. The Starlit Tree was said to be the source of all the magic in Eldergrove. It was guarded by a gentle elf named Leora, who had lived for centuries and had watched over the tree with great care. Leora was known for her wisdom and kindness, and she took her duties very seriously. The disappearing magic. One autumn evening, as the first frost began to touch the leaves, Leora noticed something troubling. The light of the Starlit Tree was fading. The once vibrant glow of the leaves had dimmed, and a sense of unease hung in the air. Leora knew that if the tree's light vanished completely, Eldergrove would fall into darkness and the magic of the forest would be lost. Determined to save the tree, Leora began to search for the cause of the fading light. She discovered an old, forgotten prophecy that spoke of a hidden shadow that would threaten the Starlit Tree when a great imbalance was about to occur. The quest begins to restore the light of the Starlit Tree. Leora needed to find the source of the imbalance and restore harmony. The prophecy mentioned an ancient artifact known as the Moonstone Crown, which was said to have the power to balance the forces of light and shadow. The Moonstone Crown had been lost for centuries, but the prophecy hinted at its location, hidden deep within the forbidden cavern at the edge of the forest. Leora knew she could not undertake this journey alone. She sought the help of 3 companions, a brave fox named Finn, a wise owl named Orin, and a cheerful squirrel named Pip. The Forbidden Cavern. The journey to the Forbidden Cavern was fraught with challenges. The forest was filled with magical creatures and tricky illusions that tested their courage and teamwork. Finn's sharp senses guided them through hidden paths, Orin's wisdom helped them solve ancient riddles, and Pip's nimble agility allowed them to navigate obstacles with ease. After days of traveling, they reached the entrance of the forbidden cavern. The cavern was dark and mysterious, with walls that seemed to shimmer with an eerie glow. The air was thick with ancient magic, and the cavern's depths seemed to echo with forgotten secrets. The Moonstone Crown. As they ventured deeper into the cavern, they encountered a series of trials. The first trial was a maze of twisting passages that seemed to shift and change. With Orin's guidance, they navigated through the maze and reached the second trial, a pool of shimmering, enchanted water that revealed hidden truths. Pip bravely dived into the pool and discovered a hidden chamber beneath the water. Inside the chamber, on a pedestal bathed in a soft, moonlit glow, was the Moonstone Crown. The crown was a stunning piece of jewelry, adorned with shimmering moonstones and intricate patterns of starlight. Restoring balance with the Moonstone Crown in hand, Leora and her companions made their way back to the Starlit Tree. They placed the crown on the tree's pedestal, and its magic began to intertwine with the tree's fading light. The light of the Starlit Tree grew brighter and more vibrant, filling Eldergrove with renewed energy and enchantment. The shadow that had threatened the tree dissipated, and the balance of light and shadow was restored. The forest once again flourished with magic, and the creatures of Eldergrove rejoiced. A new beginning. Leora thanked her brave companions for their help and returned to her duties as the guardian of the Starlit Tree. The tree's light continued to shine brightly, and the magic of Eldergrove was stronger than ever. The tale of Leora and her companions became a cherished story in Eldergrove, a reminder of the importance of courage, wisdom, and friendship. The Moonstone Crown was placed in a special place at the heart of the forest, a symbol of the balance between light and shadow and the enduring magic of the Starlit Tree. And so, Eldergrove thrived under the watchful glow of the Starlit Tree, forever guided by the bravery and unity of those who had restored its light. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the mountains and across the crystal blue seas, there was a prosperous kingdom named Everwyn. This kingdom was known for its magnificent castles, flourishing gardens, and the joyous laughter of its people. But its most prized possession was the Golden Rose, a magical flower that bloomed in the royal garden and kept the land fertile and prosperous. One day, a dark sorcerer named Malgur, jealous of Everwyn's beauty and happiness, cast a dreadful spell over the kingdom. The golden rose withered, the skies turned gray, and a perpetual winter descended upon the land. Crops failed, and the once happy people of Everwyn began to lose hope. In a small cottage at the edge of the kingdom lived a humble tailor named Finn. Finn was known for his exceptional skill with a needle and thread, but more importantly, for his kind heart and unwavering spirit. As the kingdom fell into despair, Finn couldn't bear to see his friends and neighbors suffer. One evening, as Finn sat by his fireplace, he heard a faint, sorrowful whisper. It was the voice of the Golden Rose, calling out for help. "Brave Finn," it whispered, "only you can break Malgur's curse and restore Everwyn. You must find the crystal of light hidden in the Forgotten Forest and use its power to revive me." Determined to save his kingdom, Finn packed his belongings, including a sturdy needle, some thread, and his warmest cloak. He set out at dawn, his heart filled with resolve. As he journeyed through the snow-covered land, he encountered various challenges. The once friendly forest was now dark and eerie, filled with twisted trees and hidden dangers. After several days of arduous travel, Finn reached the edge of the Forgotten Forest. The trees here were ancient, their gnarled branches covered in thick layers of ice. The path was difficult to follow, and a bitter wind howled through the trees. But Finn pressed on, driven by the hope of saving his kingdom. Deep within the forest, Finn stumbled upon a wounded fox. Its paw was caught in a cruel trap set by the sorcerer's minions. Without hesitation, Finn used his needle and thread to carefully mend the fox's wound and free it from the trap. The grateful fox, named Reyna, offered to guide him through the treacherous forest. With Reyna's help, Finn navigated the forest's many dangers, from enchanted thorns to hidden pitfalls. They finally arrived at a crystal-clear lake that shimmered with an ethereal light. In the center of the lake stood a small island, and upon it, a crystal that glowed with a pure, radiant light. But guarding the island was a formidable ice dragon, its scales glistening like diamonds. The dragon roared, its icy breath freezing the air. Finn, though trembling with fear, stepped forward. "Great dragon," He called out, "I seek the crystal of light to save my kingdom. Please, allow me to take it." The dragon, sensing Finn's pure heart and bravery, lowered its head. "You have shown kindness to those in need, and your courage is true. You may take the crystal," the dragon said in a deep, rumbling voice. Finn carefully waded through the shallow water to the island and took the crystal of light in his hands. Its warmth spread through him, filling him with hope and strength. With the crystal in his possession, he and Reyna hurried back to Everwyn. Upon his return, Finn went straight to the royal garden. The withered golden rose lay in the center, surrounded by frost. He placed the crystal of light next to the rose, and its magic began to work. Slowly, the frost melted, the rose's petals unfurled, and the garden began to bloom once more. The skies cleared, the sun shone brightly, and the harsh winter that had gripped Everwyn disappeared. The people of Everwyn, seeing the miracle, rejoiced. King Cedric and Queen Elena, who had also been under Malgar's spell, awakened and regained their strength. Malgar, seeing his curse broken, tried to unleash his wrath upon Everwyn. But the golden rose, now fully revived, created a shield of light around the kingdom, repelling the sorcerer's dark magic. Defeated and powerless, Malgar fled, never to be seen again. King Cedric and Queen Elena declared a grand celebration in honor of Finn's bravery and selflessness. They offered him a place of high honor in the court, but Finn, humble as always, chose to return to his cottage and continue his work as a tailor. The people of Everwyn, forever grateful, often visited Finn's shop, seeking his expert craftsmanship and sharing stories of his heroism. The kingdom flourished once more, with the golden rose shining brightly in the royal garden, a symbol of hope and resilience. And so, Finn the brave tailor lived a long and happy life, his heart always filled with the joy of knowing he had saved his beloved kingdom. The tale of his courage and kindness was passed down through generations, a reminder that even the humblest of us can achieve great things with a pure heart and a steadfast spirit. And they all lived happily ever after. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a picturesque village surrounded by rolling hills and vibrant meadows, there was a legend about a hidden melody that could bring peace and harmony to anyone who heard it. The melody was said to be hidden deep within a magical forest, known as the Whispering Woods, where the trees sang softly with the wind and the streams babbled gentle tunes. In this village lived a young girl named Elowen. Elowen was known for her love of music and her ability to play the lute with a grace that captivated everyone who listened. Despite her talent, she often felt that her music could be more than just beautiful notes, it could heal hearts and bring people together. So, when she heard about the hidden melody, Elowen was determined to find it and share it with her village. One bright morning, with the first light of dawn casting a golden hue over the land, Elowen set out for the Whispering Woods. She carried her lute in a small pouch of provisions, her heart filled with hope and excitement. As she entered the forest, the trees seemed to welcome her with a soft rustling, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. The forest was alive with gentle sounds, as if the trees were whispering secrets and the birds were singing in harmony. Elowen followed a winding path that led deeper into the woods. The path was lined with glowing mushrooms and delicate, luminescent flowers that seemed to guide her way. After walking for a while, Elowen arrived at a clearing where an old, wise oak tree stood. The tree's branches were adorned with shimmering leaves, and its trunk was covered in intricate carvings. As Elowen approached, she heard a soft, melodic hum emanating from the tree. "Welcome, Elowen," a gentle voice said. It was the spirit of the oak tree, glowing with a soft, golden light. To find the hidden melody, you must complete 3 tasks, each one testing a different aspect of your heart. Elowen nodded eagerly, ready to accept the challenge. The first task was the task of generosity. The spirit guided Elowen to a grove where a family of deer was struggling to find food. The grove had been depleted by the storm, and the deer were hungry. Elowen took some of the food from her pouch and scattered it around the grove. The deer approached, their eyes filled with gratitude, and soon they were eating happily. The second task was the task of courage. The spirit led Elowen to a deep, shadowy ravine where a frightened fox was trapped. The fox had ventured too close to the edge and was unable to find its way back. Iloan carefully descended into the ravine, calming the fox with her soothing voice. She helped the fox climb back up to safety, and the fox nuzzled her in thanks before disappearing into the forest. The final task was the task of wisdom. Iloan was presented with a riddle inscribed on a stone pedestal, asterisk, I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I? Star. Iloan pondered the riddle, remembering her own experiences and the lessons she had learned. After a moment of thought, she answered, a joke. The stone pedestal glowed softly, and a hidden compartment opened, revealing an old, beautifully crafted music box. With the music box in hand, Iloan returned to the oak tree. The spirit of the oak tree smiled and said, you have completed the tasks with a true heart. The hidden melody is now yours to share. Iloan opened the music box, and a delicate, enchanting tune filled the air. The melody was unlike anything she had ever heard, soothing and uplifting, with a harmony that resonated deeply. She played the melody on her lute, and the notes blended seamlessly with the music from the box. As Iloan played, the whispering woods seemed to come alive with the melody. The trees swayed gently, and the animals gathered around to listen. The music spread through the forest and beyond, reaching her village. When Iloan returned to the village, she shared the melody with her friends and family. The music brought a sense of calm and joy to everyone who heard it. The village was filled with laughter and harmony. And the bonds between the villagers grew stronger. The hidden melody became a cherished part of the village's traditions, and Iloan's music was celebrated as a gift from the whispering woods. The forest continued to hum its gentle tunes, and the village thrived in peace and unity. And so, Iloan's quest for the hidden melody became a beloved story, reminding everyone of the power of generosity, courage, and wisdom, and the magic that lies in sharing a beautiful gift. The end. The Starflower Grove. Once upon a time, in a land where the sky kissed the earth and the forests were filled with enchantment, there lay a hidden village called Moonshadow. Moonshadow was renowned for its magical Starflower Grove, a mystical forest where glowing flowers bloomed only under the light of the full moon. The grove was said to hold secrets and wonders, known only to those with a brave and pure heart. In Moonshadow lived a spirited girl named Ayla. Ayla was known for her adventurous spirit and her deep love for nature. She spent her days exploring the village and the surrounding woods, always eager to uncover new wonders. Despite the beauty of Moonshadow, Ayla felt a strong desire to discover the true magic of the Starflower Grove and what lay hidden within its heart. A mysterious message one evening, as the full moon began to rise, casting a silvery light over Moonshadow, Ayla found an old, weathered scroll at the edge of the grove. The scroll was adorned with celestial symbols and had a message written in flowing script. To unveil the true magic of the grove, you must find the heart of the forest, where moonlight and courage unite. Excited and determined, Ayla set off into the grove, guided by the moon's gentle glow. The grove was a mesmerizing place, with the starflowers illuminating the path with their ethereal light. The flowers seemed to hum softly, creating a melody that resonated with Ayla's heart. The whispering willow. As she ventured deeper into the grove, Ayla came across an ancient willow tree with branches that seemed to whisper secrets. The tree's bark was covered in shimmering runes that glowed faintly in the moonlight. A soft voice emanated from the tree. Greetings, brave one. To find the heart of the forest, you must answer my riddle. I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I? Ayla thought carefully and then answered, a fire. The whispering willow's branches swayed in approval, and a hidden path revealed itself behind the tree. The path was lined with glowing stones that guided Ayla further into the grove. The enchanted clearing. Following the path, Ayla arrived at a clearing bathed in a soft, magical light. At the center of the clearing stood a majestic, crystal-clear pond surrounded by luminous starflowers. In the middle of the pond was a small island with a single, glowing tree, the heart of the forest. Ayla noticed a small wooden boat anchored at the edge of the pond. With a mix of excitement and nervousness, she climbed into the boat and gently rowed across the pond. As she approached the island, the tree's light grew brighter, and a sense of wonder filled the air. The heart of the forest. As Ayla reached the island, she saw that the heart of the forest was not just a tree but a living embodiment of the grove's magic. The tree's branches were adorned with shimmering crystals, and its leaves sparkled with the light of countless stars. At the base of the tree was a beautiful, radiant gem. Ayla reached out to touch the gem, and the moment her fingers brushed against it, the entire grove seemed to come alive. The starflowers glowed even more brightly, and the pond's water sparkled like diamonds. A gentle voice spoke from the heart of the forest. "You have shown great courage and kindness, Ayla. The true magic of the grove lies not only in its beauty but in the hearts of those who seek to protect and cherish it. For your bravery, the grove's magic will forever be a part of you." The return to Moonshadow. With the heart of the forest's blessing, Ayla returned to Moonshadow, her heart filled with a newfound sense of wonder. The village was enchanted by the grove's magic, and the starflowers continued to bloom with a brilliance that had never been seen before. The story of Ayla's adventure became a beloved tale in Moonshadow, reminding everyone of the magic that exists when we follow our hearts and embrace the beauty around us. The Starflower Grove remained a place of wonder and joy, forever blessed by the courage and purity of one extraordinary young girl. And so, Moonshadow thrived, with Ayla's story inspiring generations to come, under the watchful gaze of the moon and the eternal glow of the starflowers. In the heart of the enchanted forest, where ancient trees whispered secrets and magical creatures roamed freely, there was a small village named Everwood. Everwood was known for its enchanting beauty and its mysterious moonlit lake, which was said to hold a magical secret. Each month, on the night of the full moon, a soft, melodious tune would rise from the lake, captivating anyone who heard it. The source of the melody was unknown, and despite many villagers' attempts to discover its origin, no one had succeeded. The legend spoke of a magical night when the melody would reveal its secrets to a heart pure and true. In this village lived a young girl named Elara, known for her love of music and her kind heart. Elara had always been drawn to the moonlit lake and its mysterious melody. She believed that the melody was a gift and was determined to uncover its source. One evening, as the full moon began to rise, Elara made her way to the edge of the moonlit lake. The lake was bathed in silver light, and the melody began to drift through the air, more enchanting than ever. Elara closed her eyes and let the music wash over her, feeling its magic in her heart. Determined to uncover the secret, Elara sat by the lake and sang along with the melody. Her voice blended with the music, creating a harmony that seemed to resonate with the very essence of the lake. As she sang, she noticed a soft glow beneath the water's surface. Suddenly, a gentle ripple spread across the lake, and a shimmering figure emerged. It was a beautiful water nymph named Lyra, with flowing hair that sparkled like moonlight and eyes as deep as the lake itself. "You have a pure heart and a love for music," Lyra said, her voice like a soft breeze. "The melody you hear is a gift from the Moonlight Muse, a magical being who dwells within the lake. Each full moon, the Muse sings a melody that can only be heard by those who truly appreciate its beauty." Elara's eyes widened with wonder. "Can you tell me more about the Moonlight Muse?" Lyra smiled. "The Moonlight Muse is a guardian of the lake and the protector of harmony in the enchanted forest. Long ago, the Muse created the melody to bring peace and joy to those who listened. However, the Muse's power has waned over time, and the melody has become harder to hear." Elara felt a surge of empathy for the Muse. "Is there a way I can help?" Lyra's expression grew serious. "To restore the Muse's power, you must embark on a journey to the heart of the enchanted forest and find the Crystal of Harmony. This crystal has the power to renew the Muse's magic and restore the melody to its full glory." Elara agreed to undertake the quest. Lyra guided her to the edge of the forest, where the path to the heart of the forest began. The forest was filled with magical creatures and enchanted wonders, but Elara's resolve and kindness shone brightly, guiding her through each challenge she faced. As she ventured deeper into the forest, Elara encountered a wise old owl named Orion, who offered her guidance. "To find the Crystal of Harmony, you must pass 3 trials," Orion explained. "The first trial is to find the hidden grove, where the crystal is kept. The second trial is to prove your bravery by facing your greatest fear. The third trial is to show your compassion by helping those in need. Elara followed Orion's advice and embarked on the trials. She used her musical talent to find the hidden grove, where the crystal was guarded by an illusionary maze. By singing a lullaby that resonated with the forest's magic, she revealed the true path to the crystal. For the second trial, Elara faced her greatest fear, being alone and lost. With courage and determination, she reminded herself of her purpose and sang a song of hope and bravery, overcoming her fear. For the final trial, Elara encountered a group of lost forest creatures who needed help finding their way home. She guided them with kindness and music, showing her compassion and earning their gratitude. At last, Elara reached the Crystal of Harmony. She carefully picked it up, feeling its warmth and magic. With the crystal in hand, she returned to the moonlit lake. As she approached, the lake began to shimmer and glow with renewed brilliance. Lyra appeared once more, and Elara placed the crystal in the lake's heart. A brilliant light enveloped the lake, and the Moonlight Muse emerged, its presence filling the air with a harmonious melody that resonated throughout the enchanted forest. The Muse's song was now more enchanting and powerful than ever, bringing peace and joy to all who heard it. Elara had restored the Muse's magic, and the melody continued to inspire and uplift the village of Everwood. The villagers celebrated the return of the magical melody, and Elara's bravery and kindness became the stuff of legend. From that day on, the moonlit lake remained a beacon of harmony and enchantment, a reminder of the magic that could be found in the purest of hearts. Once upon a time, in a charming village nestled between rolling hills and sparkling rivers, there was a grand, ancient willow tree known as the Whispering Willow. This tree was said to possess magical powers, and it was revered by the villagers who believed that the tree could speak to those who truly listened. The Whispering Willow was at the heart of the village, and its branches swayed gently, always seeming to murmur secrets of old. The village was home to a kind and brave girl named Alina. Alina had always felt a special connection to the Whispering Willow and spent many afternoons sitting beneath its branches, listening to its soft whispers. She believed that the tree held the key to a long-forgotten secret that could help her village thrive even more. One day, the village faced a terrible drought. The rivers had dried up, and the crops were withering. The villagers were worried and turned to Alina for help, knowing her bond with the Whispering Willow might be their last hope. Determined to find a solution, Alina decided to seek the wisdom of the Whispering Willow more deeply than ever before. As the sun set and the sky was painted in hues of pink and orange, Alina approached the ancient tree with a heavy heart and an open mind. "Whispering Willow," she said softly, "I need your guidance. Our village is suffering, and we don't know how to save it. Please, help us." The wind rustled through the willow's leaves, and a soothing, melodic voice spoke from within. "To save your village, you must seek the heart of the forest. It is a hidden treasure with the power to bring water and life back to your land. But to find it, you must first prove your courage, kindness, and wisdom." Alina listened carefully, and the Whispering Willow gave her a map marked with cryptic symbols. The map led her into the depths of the forest, a place known for its magical creatures and hidden mysteries. The first part of her journey led her to a sparkling pond surrounded by glowing fireflies. Here, Alina faced the task of courage. A mischievous water sprite had been playing tricks on travelers, causing them to lose their way. The sprite challenged Alina with riddles and illusions. Alina, with her heart full of bravery, solved each riddle and faced the illusions with steadfast resolve. The sprite, impressed by Alina's courage, revealed a hidden path that led further into the forest. Next, Alina arrived at a grove where she found a family of injured deer. The grove had become overrun with thorny vines that made it difficult for the deer to move. This was the task of kindness. Alina carefully cleared the vines and tended to the deer's wounds, using the healing herbs she carried. The deer, grateful for her kindness, guided her to the next part of her journey. Finally, Alina reached an ancient stone archway covered in glowing runes. This was the task of wisdom. The runes formed a complex puzzle, and solving it required both knowledge and intuition. Alina studied the runes and used her understanding of the forest's lore. as well as clues given by the Whispering Willow. She arranged the runes correctly, causing the archway to open and reveal a hidden chamber. Inside the chamber, Alina found a shimmering crystal encased in a golden pedestal. This was the heart of the forest. As she touched the crystal, it began to glow brightly, and a warm, gentle rain started to fall outside. The rain revitalized the land, filling the rivers and nourishing the crops. Alina returned to her village with the crystal, and the villagers celebrated as the drought ended and life returned to their land. The Whispering Willow's magic had indeed saved them. The villagers expressed their gratitude to Alina for her bravery, kindness, and wisdom. From that day on, Alina was celebrated as a hero, and the Whispering Willow became even more revered as a symbol of hope and magic. The village thrived, and the ancient tree continued to whisper its secrets to those who listened with their hearts. And so, the tale of Alina and the Whispering Willow became a cherished story, reminding everyone that with courage, kindness, and wisdom, even the most daunting challenges can be overcome, and magic can be found in the most unexpected places.